As an ordinary person, I was actually taken in as a disciple by a beautiful master at the half-step supreme level. At first, I wondered, do I have some kind of heaven-defying physique? But after 3 years of hard cultivation, I still hadn't even reached the true essence realm. So I went to ask my master, Master, why did you only take a loser like me as your disciple? Who would have thought my master answered like this? On the day I became the peak lord and sect leader, my senior brother insisted I take a disciple for appearances. I just took a stroll down the mountain and found you to be the most pleasing to the eye. So I brought you back just to make up the numbers. Since then, I have been on Drunken Moon Peak, living in total slacker mode. Anyway, I'm my master's only disciple, and she's even lazier than I am. She doesn't care about whether I live or die at all. This life is way more comfortable than being a wage slave clocking in every day in my previous life. It's much better. At least, now I can occasionally feast my eyes on my gorgeous master. Until one day, my master, who had been missing for months, suddenly came back reeking of alcohol.
And
She brought with her a cold and aloof girl of about 14 or 15. Zhao Fanzi, this is Su Qing'an, your junior sister. Master Shen Qingku casually tossed out a sentence. A junior sister? I actually have a junior sister now? But Su Qing'an just cast a cold glance at me. In those stunning eyes, there was a completely undisguised chill and ridicule. I was instantly pissed. I'm a dignified transmigrator, yet I'm being looked down on by some little girl. Right when I was about to lash out, Shen Qingku offhandedly added another line. By the way, your junior sister is already an expert in the core forming realm. Take any chance you get to kowtow and ask for her guidance. Core forming realm? She's actually 2 whole major realms above me, the senior brother. She's 2 entire realms higher than me. I instantly deflated like a punctured ball. Forget it. I'm not going to stoop to a kid's level. But just then, ding! Detected that the host has an undefeated junior sister and senior brother. Critical hit return system is officially activated. The transmigrator's golden finger finally arrived. I started trembling with excitement, almost burst into tears on the spot. Shen Qingku saw me shaking all over, and for the first time ever, patted me on the shoulder, with a face full of sympathy. It's all Master's fault for leaving you alone on the mountain for so long. You've gotten ill from loneliness. Even Su Qing'an's look towards me changed from disdain to deep pity. She walked up and handed me a ragged handkerchief. Senior brother, wipe your drool. From now on, with me watching you, you won't have any more episodes. Come on, are you all misunderstanding something here? I got my golden finger. I'm not acting like this because I'm lonely or ill. I snatched the handkerchief away and quickly slipped into the kitchen, while frantically calling out to the system in my head. System, what heaven-defying abilities do you have? This system can bind to your junior sister, trigger random multiple critical hits, and give you back her cultivation achievements and opportunities. The stronger she is, the more invincible you become. Wow, isn't that just letting someone else work their butt off, while I just lie flat and win? I was overjoyed on the spot. Then hurry up and bind with Su Qing'an now. Binding requires the other party to have qualified talent. The higher the talent, the higher the critical hit multiplier. Testing Su Qing'an's talent now. Hearing that, I instantly got nervous. Please don't let her be another loser Master picked up randomly. But then I thought, if Master could pick up someone like me with ordinary bones, then picking up another loser also totally fits her style. My heart instantly sank to rock bottom. Testing complete. Su Qing'an's talent meets the requirements. Binding successful. Name, Su Qing'an.
Cultivation, first level core formation realm.
Constitution, extreme ice. Ice dragon bloodline. Note, former #1 empress of the 9 heavens mystic realm, reincarnated after her fall. Carrying deep blood vengeance. Hearing ice dragon bloodline, reincarnated #1 empress, I was petrified on the spot. Master, oh master, last time you picked up a loser, and now you've brought home an empress-level big shot. You really know the meaning of complete opposites. Ice dragon bloodline. that is said to be able to tear apart the heavens, defy all of eternity. And on top of that, she's the reincarnated empress. But look at me, just an absolutely ordinary rebel bone. Suddenly, I felt like as the senior brother, my situation is almost as tragic as it gets. But now, everything is different. I'm a cheat-enabled guy now too. To celebrate, I emptied out the kitchen's inventory, caught a DJ spirit beast from the mountain, and made a huge pot of fragrant braised spirit meat. The result was that my Empress junior sister and half-step sword godmaster were both staring wide-eyed, swallowing like crazy. Su Qing'an even shuddered delicately. Su Qing'an's favorability +1. I froze on the spot. This system can even gauge favorability. I checked right away. Shen Qingpiu's favorability, 60. Su Qing'an's favorability, 10. Extremely cautious. Not too bad, could be worse. At the table, the two of them didn't care about their appearance at all, eating until their mouths were covered in oil. It was like watching starving ghosts reincarnated. Then the system voice kept ringing out like crazy. Shen Qingpiu's favorability +1. Ding, Su Qing'an's favorability +2. Now I get it. If you want to win over an ice-cold empress, you have to stuff her mouth full of delicious food first. After the meal and drinks, Master gave an incredibly alluring stretch and just went straight back to her cave to sleep. From the look of things, she's not coming out for at least 10 days. I had no choice but to look at Su Qing'an again and politely ask junior sister, "Do you have any cultivation problems you need senior brother's help with?" She just stood up, her beautiful face once again covered in ancient, unmelting iciness. "Don't worry, senior brother. When it comes to cultivation, I'll never have any problems." Are you kidding me? She's the reincarnated empress of 9 heavens. Letting a loser like you, not even at the key condensation realm, give her pointers on cultivation is just the biggest joke in the world. And with that, Su Qing'an turned and left, leaving me with a pile of greasy dishes and bowls. I was speechless. They wolfed down the food and ran. These two heartless women. I had no choice but to wash the dishes myself. Meanwhile, Su Qing'an didn't go to rest, but instead, not far from me, used her powerful core formation realm key to quickly build a beautiful wooden cabin with giant logs. She went into the cabin, and blazing flames of vengeance instantly flared in her eyes. This place will be where I, Su Qing'an, rise again to the peak of the 9 heavens. Those traitorous ministers and scoundrels who betrayed me. Wait for me, I will return to the mystic realm with a vengeance, and sacrifice your blood to honor my fallen clan. Su Qing'an took a deep breath, sat cross-legged, and deep in the center of her forehead, a dark golden dragon scale slowly appeared, covered with countless mysterious patterns powerful enough to destroy the world. What on earth is this heaven-defying divine object? This is the fate-defying dragon scale. I actually reincarnated along with Su Qing'an. You have to know, even the supreme divine weapon he personally refined in his past life was reduced to ashes during the tribulation. But this thing remained completely intact. Could it be the legendary primordial immortal treasure? Just then, that dark gold dragon scale suddenly emitted a blinding bloody light. A stream of obscure information instantly poured into Su Qing'an's mind. Heaven's Mandate Reverse Scale. Once a month, you can forcibly challenge a cultivator within 100 miles for a comparison of fate with the Tao of Heaven. If you win, you can seize the opponent's fortune and receive rewards from the Tao of Heaven. Top-tier techniques, peerless weapons, immortal medicines, all at your disposal. Su Qing'an's eyes lit up instantly. But right after, he was stunned again. What if I fail the comparison? As if sensing his thought, the reverse scale trembled slightly. New blood-red words appeared. If you lose the comparison, you will suffer backlash from the Tao of Heaven and become the victor's slave. You must obey unconditionally for 1 month. What? Not only do I become a slave, but unconditional obedience too. I'm the dignified empress of the 9 heavens. How could I possibly be someone else's slave? But then again, in the world of cultivation, the weak are prey to the strong. That's the natural law. As long as I don't lose, I can become stronger without end. He took a deep breath, his eyes burning with utter confidence. Come on, let me see. Who will be the first unlucky soul to be trampled under my feet? Heaven's mandate descends. The blood light flares. The first target is chosen. Drunken Moon Peak's eldest disciple, Lin Fan. The first comparison will begin in 1 month. Su Qing'an was dumbfounded on the spot. Lin Fan? That useless senior brother who can't even enter the key condensation stage? Isn't this just heaven? Handing the reward straight into my mouth? Right now, if he just raised a finger, he could crush Lin Fan to dust. Su Qing'an couldn't help but shake his head and laugh. This heaven's mandate reverse scale definitely came to comfort me because I was so miserable, right? Senior brother. Oh, senior brother. You're just a rebel. I'm of the Frost Dragon bloodline. Other than your ridiculously handsome face and being good at cooking decent dishes, how can you possibly compare with me, the Empress? She already had victory in her grasp. She even started fantasizing ahead of time about the generous rewards a month from now. Then Su Qing'an composed herself and began to circulate the sect's most basic Qingfeng technique. Yet the terrifying power of the Frost Dragon bloodline erupted completely at that moment. Its speed in absorbing spiritual energy was more than 100 times that of an ordinary cultivator. All the spiritual energy from Drunken Moon Peak began crazily pouring into his wooden hut. At the same time, in Master Shen Qinkyo's abode, this half-step sword god was sprawled out on a white jade bed, hugging a wine gourd in his arms, sleeping in a completely unseemly manner. Suddenly, he sensed something intensely. His eyes snapped open. A sword intent tearing through the void flashed in his gaze. Gradually, he sat up and glanced at Su Qing'an's wooden hut from afar. A hint of extreme shock flashed in his eyes. Frost Dragon bloodline. This little girl actually awakened such a forbidden's power. But right after, he glanced toward my kitchen. At that moment, I had just finished washing the dishes and was lying on the rocking chair, dozing off leisurely. He yawned, reeking of alcohol, and mumbled something to himself. That lazy attitude from the kid really suits my taste. After saying that, he pulled the blanket over himself and continued snoring away. So in all of Drunken Moon Peak, only Su Qing'an was left, driving herself mad with crazy cultivation. Early the next morning before dawn, Su Qing'an finished a night of wild cultivation. In just one night, her cultivation, which was at the first stage of the Giant Core Realm, surged straight up to the 3rd stage of the Giant Core Realm. Normally, any genius to reach that level, even with elixirs and pills, would need 3 whole years. Frost Dragon bloodline is just that terrifying. Su Qing'an was quite satisfied with this. Her beautiful lips curled into a proud, regal smile. With my progress speed, how can senior brother survive a month from now? I'm actually starting to pity him. I even began planning his future in my mind. Since his cooking is so good, when I regain my peak, I might just reluctantly keep him on as my personal chef. That's an honor countless saints would fight for, but never obtain. Meanwhile, on the other side, I had just woken up naturally fully rested and gave a big stretch. Suddenly, a wild system alarm rang out in my head, booming like thunder, erupting non-stop. Ding! Detected. Junior sister Su Qing'an had a night of intense cultivation, breaking through 2 realms in a row, triggering the invincible critical strike rebound. Ding! First rebound triggers a 10,000 times critical hit. Congratulations, host, you have gained full mastery in the Primordial Chaos Sword technique. Congratulations, host. Your cultivation is being unlocked and forcibly increased. In the next second, my previously lifeless meridians were instantly forced open by a vast star ocean-like power. All at once, there was no pain at all, only the most delightful pleasure. Condensing ki, forming core, splitting seas, manifesting apex, breaking the void. In just 3 breaths, the true ki in my body gathered like a boundless forest sea. The forest sea boiled, gathering into a dazzling chaotic giant cauldron. Breaking through the void, a surge of unstoppable sword intent shot straight into the heavens. In the depths of my brow, an inner world unfolded. I went from a mere mortal with no cultivation to leaping across 5 great realms, instantly reaching the peak of the void-breaking realm. I was left completely dumbstruck, as stunned as a wooden chicken. Are you kidding me? He worked his tail off all night, just to go from giant core stage 1 to 3, while I just slept? And the system skyrocketed me to the top in one fell swoop. Now I'm a void-breaking big shot, leaping dozens of minor realms at once. This system must be nuts. Immediately after, an uncontrollable ecstasy erupted in my chest like a volcano. The corners of my mouth stretched way up. I nearly howled in excitement. This system is awesome. I savored within me that terrifying power as if I could slice through stars with a single sword. My mood had never been better. Now, as the senior brother, I finally have some presents. I pushed open the kitchen door to go outside, just in time to see Su Qing'an coming out of her hut too, with white robes fluttering, cold and ethereal like an immortal. Looking at her, it was as if I was looking at a priceless treasure. What a good junior sister. You're simply my money tree. I immediately put on a huge grin and went over to her. Good morning, junior sister. You must be exhausted from your cultivation last night. What do you want for lunch? Senior brother will personally go down the mountain to hunt the finest demon beast for you to nourish your body. Su Qing'an heard this. A trace of emotion flashed quickly in her eyes. But on the surface, she still kept her empress demeanor. She nodded reservedly. Thank you for your trouble, senior brother. Just make something simple. I showed even more concern. By the way, did you sleep well in the cabin last night? Did you get cold at all? Su Qing'an replied lightly. Cultivators aren't afraid of heat or cold. But deep down he was thinking, this lousy mountain peak doesn't even have a spirit-gathering array. How could it compare to my past life's 9 heavens ice power? But seeing how nicely you're treating me, I'll just overlook it for now. That's good then, I smiled slightly, looking at the frosty Su Qing'an in front of me. The more I look, the more I think. This girl is practically a walking ATM. Then I'll go buy groceries now. You really shouldn't do anything. Just take a good rest. After saying that, I turned and started heading down the mountain. But then, Su Qing'an watched my back as I left with no sign of spiritual energy, and just shook her head aloofly. She sighed to herself, my foolish senior brother. You still have no idea that, in a month, you'll become the stepping stone for my ascension. Since you've been concerned about me, I'll be sure to keep you safe and wealthy for a lifetime. Meanwhile, I was whistling, walking leisurely down the mountain. Halfway there, I suddenly slapped my thigh. Damn, I'm now a top-tier pre-void realm powerhouse. I can travel by flying sword now. Why am I still walking? But then, just as I put my fingers together to show off and take off, a sharp, tragic roar suddenly came from the sky. The next moment, a giant boar wrapped in purple lightning came plummeting down like a meteor, landing with a thunderous crash right in front of me. Not far away, a huge hole was blasted in the ground nearby. The wild boar was covered in blood. It twitched twice and died on the spot. I blinked, delighted beyond belief. Golden Horn Thunder Boar. That's a top-quality nourishment beast. Even the heavens know I want to help my junior sister recuperate. They're airdropping ingredients straight to me. But just then, a wild, blood-red arc of blade light tore through the sky and slashed straight down toward my face. That attack was ruthlessly vicious. If it were the old me, I would have been split in 2 instantly. But now I just impatiently waved my hand. With a crisp smack, that seemingly world-ending blood blade shattered like fragile glass, broken into dust with a slap. It didn't even cause a breeze. I looked at my fair palm, my heart racing wildly. Damn, I'm ridiculously strong now. Just then, from the dense woods nearby, 2 figures strode out. The scar-faced young man in front stared at me, completely incredulous. How is it possible? You, a mere rebel, actually blocked my blood fiend slash? I looked at these 2 inner sect disciples, looking puzzled. Who are you guys? Why are you stealing my boar? The scar-faced guy instantly erupted in rage. Sneering repeatedly, Lin Fan quit playing dumb. Do you still remember 3 years ago? That boy kneeling outside Drunk Moon Peak begging for mercy. I was stunned for a second and tried to recall. Suddenly it all clicked. 3 years ago. Seems like there was an idiot kneeling in front of the mountain gate, crying to be accepted by my master. But my master was drunk in the cave dwelling. Never even noticed him. I felt sorry for him at the time. Tried to kindly suggest he try another peak. But he thought I was mocking him. Jumped up and cursed it at me. If a useless traitor like you can enter Drunk Moon Peak, why can't I, Xiao Kuang? 30 years east of the river. 30 years west of the river. Just you wait. Can't believe I ran into this edgy guy again today. These past 3 years, I've trained day and night on Kangli Peak. Braved life and death. Zhao Kuang arrogantly lifted his chin. His body radiated a terrifying aura. Now I'm at the peak of the giant core realm, 9th stage. Half a step into the fierce sea realm. Lin Fan, draw your sword. Today I'll wipe out my shame from back then. I just spread my hands, looking helpless and innocent. Bro, do you see a sword on me? I don't even have a storage pouch. Zhao Kang's lackey instantly snickered. Just a derisive snort. The esteemed senior brother of Drunken Moon Peak can't even afford a low-tier storage pouch. What a disgrace for our Heaven's Edge sword sect. I shrugged. Totally agree. Yeah, my master is really stingy. He doesn't even give me money for meals. Good thing you didn't become a disciple of Drunken Moon Peak. Otherwise, you'd definitely be poorer than me right now. All right. My master just took in a new junior sister recently. She's really beautiful. I was just stating the facts. Sadly, when he heard these truths, they turned into the cruelest mockery. Fine, fine, fine. Zhao Kuang's eyes were bloodshot with rage.
He completely lost his composure.
That bastard Shen Qingku would rather take in a new disciple than accept me. Today I'm going to kill you first, you worthless trash. Then I'll waste your new junior sister next. Hearing him threaten my junior sister, the amusement in my eyes instantly turned ice cold. Threaten my junior sister. And you threaten my leveling machine. That's cutting off my path to invincibility. You must have a death wish. Zhao Kuang roared. The blood on his battle blade erupted brilliantly. Bloodthirsty berserker blade. Die. He transformed into a bloody tornado. He struck at me with enough force to split mountains. This slash alone was enough to instantly kill 10 Peak Foundation Realm cultivators. Too bad he messed with the wrong person. He picked the wrong guy. As the blade was about to land on my head, I slowly reached out 2 fingers. Clang! A sharp and piercing metallic clash rang out.
His spirit blade, saturated with endless blood aura,
was effortlessly caught between my 2 fingers. He couldn't advance or retreat. It was as if the whole scene froze. The savage grin on Zhao Kuang's face instantly froze. His pupils shrank violently. He looked at me as if he'd seen a ghost. Too weak, I said nonchalantly. No sooner had I finished speaking, I exerted a tiny bit of force with my fingers. A terrifying surge of void-breaking true ki exploded from my fingertips. Crack, that high-grade spirit blade was instantly crushed to countless pieces of scrap metal. Immediately after, the overwhelming recoil force traveled straight through the broken blade into Zhao Kuang's chest. Gah! Zhao Kuang coughed up a huge mouthful of blood. His whole body flew back over 100 meters, like he'd been hit by a meteor. He crashed through a dozen ancient giant trees on the way. Finally, he slammed hard into the cliff face. He was so embedded, he couldn't even be pried out. All the bones in his body broke on the spot. He passed out immediately. I casually dusted off my fingertips. Muttered to myself, just got my new powers. Still haven't gotten the hang of controlling my strength. That was a bit overkill. Just then, the little minion who'd just been mocking me was so scared he wet his pants on the spot. He collapsed on the ground in terror. Pointed at me, trembling crazily. Why, you're not even human. You've been hiding your true strength all along. You're not even a loser. I walked over, looking down at him condescendingly. A gentle smile appeared at the corner of my mouth. I really am a loser. But who said a loser can't crush you with just one finger? With that, I turned around, hoisted the 1,000-pound golden horn thunder boar with one hand. I'm taking this pig with me. I'm going to stew it for my junior sister. You're welcome to send us more ingredients anytime. I hummed a tune and walked away in big strides. This golden horn thunder boar contained incredibly violent lightning spirit power inside. It would definitely stimulate Su Qing'an's bloodline. As long as his cultivation soared, my own critical hit rebounds would get even crazier. Good junior sister, your senior brother is worrying himself sick for you. You'd better not let me down. After going down the mountain, I spent the last of my spirit stones to buy some rare spiritual herbs and ingredients. Meanwhile, I played dumb and shocked the world with one move, instantly killing Kang Lifeng. And news of it, along with Zhao Kuang, the genius, swept the entire Heaven's Edge sword sect like a hurricane. Everyone found it unbelievable. A good-for-nothing recognized for 3 years suddenly blew up like this? So many curious, and even jealous, shocked gazes started secretly focusing on Drunken Moon Peak. But I didn't care at all. Once I got back to the peak, I immediately rushed into the kitchen. Knife in hand, I started simmering nutritious thunder pork bone soup for Su Qing'an. I simmered it for a full 3 hours. When a pot of broth sparkling with faint lightning, and fragrant enough to waft for miles, was brought before Su Qing'an, he just took a sniff, and his stunning eyes widened instantly. This is a top-tier Tier 3 beast, the Golden Horn Thunder Boar. A storm of emotion surged in his heart. This beast's strength was about the same as an early, fierce Sea Realm cultivator. Even in his previous life, he only killed one so easily at the Cauldron Transformation Realm. For Lin Fan to get this soup for him, he must have survived a life-or-death bloodbath. He immediately pictured me, covered in blood, bravely protecting the ingredients to the death. His nose stung instantly. Dang, Su Qing'an was deeply moved. Favorability plus 15. My hands shook as I held the pot. Wow, a whole 15 points. This little empress's imagination is way too much. Just one meal and he's this moved. How dumb were the people who were hunting him in his past life? Junior sister, drink it while it's hot. It'll really help your cultivation. I forced down the joy in my heart. And gently urged him on. Su Qing'an's eyes turned red, and without caring about his image, he downed the soup in big gulps. With just one bowl down,
He felt as if a lightning dragon was roaring inside him.
the immense pure spirit energy surged through his body all at once. Her face, as white as jade, immediately turned bright red. Even a faint wisp of white steam appeared above her head. But when she looked up, she saw me sitting nearby, smiling at her, looking relaxed. On me, there wasn't even the slightest sign of spirit energy fluctuation. Su Qing'an realized instantly. Her senior brother was born with a rebel constitution. Divine treasures packed with violent energy like this, he couldn't absorb at all. The treasures he risked his life for, he gave all to her alone. Thinking of this, there was not only gratitude in her eyes, there was also a deep sense of heartache. A physique that can't retain any spirit energy is truly a tragedy in the cultivation world. Her senior brother clearly had a sincere heart, yet was so cruelly toyed with by fate. Senior brother. Su Qing'an suddenly put down the bowl. His eyes were incomparably determined. What's wrong? Not enough soup. There's more in the pot. I hurried to my feet. Don't worry. He looked right into my eyes. His tone carried the authority and promise of an empress. I, Su Qing'an, swear right here. That when I reach the peak someday, even if I have to walk through the netherworld, I'll find you a heaven-defying elixir to change your fate. I absolutely won't let you wither away in the river of time. Ding, Su Qing'an made a solemn vow. Favorability plus 20. Current favorability, 47. Life and death bond. I was stunned. All I did was make you pork bone soup, and you go off saying you'll break through the netherworld for me. Besides, I'm already a void-breaking realm boss. I'm 1,000 times stronger than you are. But I could only act deeply gratified on the surface. I blinked, eyes red, and patted his head. With this kind of heart, even if I die, I'll have no regrets. Go cultivate now. Don't waste this medicinal effect. Su Qing'an nodded heavily, turned and rushed into the cabin, and immediately sat down to meditate. Watching his back, I was absolutely delighted inside. Go all out and show me what you can do. Sure enough, after just half an hour, above Su Qing'an's cabin, a whirlpool of spiritual energy appeared out of the blue. He used this surge of medicinal power and directly broke through the bottleneck of the Great Core realm. All at once stepped into the fierce sea realm. Boom! Meanwhile, I was lying in the courtyard sunbathing. The system notification in my mind was like a raging symphony. Ding! Detected that junior sister pushed through countless hardships. Detecting that the junior sister has overcome countless hardships, breaking through to a major realm, triggering a 10,000-fold critical hit return. Congratulations to the host, your cultivation level is soaring crazily. Void-shattering realm early stage, mid-stage, peak. Half-step Marquis realm. Boom! A loud sound, like the creation of heaven and earth, echoed within my body. Violent power compressed frantically inside me, leading to finally transforming into an unmatched true Marquis prestige. On the afternoon, Lin Fan finished a pot of pig soup. He officially stepped into the heavenly grade. Only elders of the sword sect can reach the Marquis realm. I was so satisfied I almost flew to the sky. This speed is more ridiculous than using a cheat code. Others cultivate immortality by going against heaven. I cultivate by having the system force-feed me. Just as I was immersed in the pleasure of invincibility, time passed to the next morning in the blink of an eye. Su Qing'an finished a night of stabilizing her cultivation. She pushed open the door and saw me lying on a rocking chair, snoring like thunder. Her delicate brows furrowed slightly. She was about to say something, but then she sighed. Forget it. Senior brother's bone of rebellion is exposed. No matter how hard he tries, it's in vain. Instead of struggling in pain, it's better to be a carefree mortal here in the mountains. I will clear the path for him in the future. So she didn't wake me up, but instead alone holding a rusty longsword. She went to the back mountain to practice her sword skills. However, shortly after Su Qing'an left, the system in my mind suddenly issued a piercing red alert. Beep beep, emergency warning! Detected that the host's junior sister is suffering from extremely malicious cornering and bullying. System issuing a temporary task, domineering confrontation. Complete it to receive a mysterious gift pack. My slightly closed eyes snapped open. A terrifying Marquis-level killing intent instantly enveloped the entire Drunken Moon Peak. Someone actually dares to bully my ATM. Do they have a death wish? My figure flashed, leaving not even an afterimage behind, instantly vanishing from the spot. At this moment, at the foot of Drunken Moon Peak, Su Qing'an was being surrounded by 5 or 6 young men in Azure Flame Peak attire. Surrounding her, the leader, a feminine young man, held a folding fan. His eyes wantonly looked up and down at Su Qing'an. Her cold and beautiful figure. TSK. So this is the new female disciple of Drunken Moon Peak? You're quite a beauty. Too bad you followed the wrong master. Su Qing'an gripped the broken sword in her hand. Her eyes were cold as frost. Get lost. A good dog doesn't block the path. The feminine young man's face stiffened. Then he laughed sinisterly. Quite a spicy temper. My name is Li. Quite a spicy temper. My name is Li Qi, the head disciple of Azure Flame Peak. I heard that trash Lin Fan used some underhanded tricks yesterday to ambush my junior brother Zhao Kuang. Today, I'm not only going to break your legs to assert authority, but also make Lin Fan kneel like a dog to lick my boots. Li Qi is a master at the 6th level of the Sea Refining Realm, ranked in the top 5 among inner disciples. Su Qing'an's heart sank. Although she broke through to the 1st level of the Sea Refining Realm and has the Ice Dragon bloodline, allowing her to fight above her level, but facing a gap of 6 realms, plus so many lackeys, this battle was a near certain death. But her pride as an empress would never allow her to retreat a single step. You want my senior brother to kneel? You're not worthy. Killing intent flashed in Su Qing'an's eyes. She was about to forcibly overdraw her essence blood to activate the Ice Dragon holy body. Right at this critical moment, a roar like a thunderclap crashed down from high above. Who dares to touch a single hair on my junior sister's head? The ground trembled violently. A violent figure fell like a meteor, crashing straight down in front of Su Qing'an. The terrifying airwave directly knocked those lackeys to the ground, vomiting blood. The dust cleared. I stood with my back to Su Qing'an, like an insurmountable ancient divine mountain, blocking all the danger. Li Qi was forced back by the airwave, by 3 steps, looking at me with shock and suspicion. Lin Fan, you actually dared to deliver yourself to me. Li Qi sneered, closing his folding fan. Just in time? Let's settle all the old and new scores together. I didn't even bother to look at him, but turned back to look at Su Qing'an. My tone instantly became extremely gentle. Junior sister, are you hurt? Su Qing'an looked at my broad back. Her heart skipped a violent beat. He clearly has no cultivation. Why did he rush out to die? Just to protect me? Senior brother, run quickly.
He's at the 6th level of the sea refining realm.
You're no match for him. Su Qing'an grew anxious, reaching out to pull me behind her. I instead grabbed her small, cold hand. The touch was smooth and delicate, making one's heart flutter. I smiled slightly, giving her an incredibly reassuring look. Don't be afraid, junior sister. On Drunken Moon Peak, even if the sky falls, your senior brother will hold it up for you. Su Qing'an was stunned on the spot. That deep, confident gaze actually gave her an illusion, as if standing before her wasn't a rebellious trash, but an invincible, world-renowned war god. Death is at your door, and you still dare to be lovey-dovey here? Li Qi, being ignored, was completely enraged. Die, both of you. Nether was completely enraged. Die, both of you. Nether poison palm. His hands instantly turned a ghastly green, carrying a pungent foul stench, aiming at my back from an extremely tricky and vicious angle. A single touch from this palm meant death. Ugh. Su Qing'an's exclamation came from behind. Senior brother, watch out. But I just stood there, without even turning my head, and even leisurely let out a yawn. Just as that poison palm was about to touch my clothes, I simply let out a light sigh. Sigh, why is there always trash polluting my eyes? Before the words finished, I didn't even use my hands. With just a cold look, a trace of Marquis pressure, extremely faint, yet terrifying to the extreme, suddenly descended upon Li Qi. Bang! The previously arrogant Li Qi was like being hit head-on by a 10,000-foot mountain. He didn't even have time to scream, as his knees slammed heavily onto the hard blue stone, crushing the stone slabs instantly.
His arms shattered inch by inch.
Blood sprayed wildly. The intense pressure pinned his entire body firmly to the ground, unable to move, looking just like a flattened toad. Dead silence everywhere. A deathly silence, with only the rustling of wind through the leaves. Su Qing'an widened her beautiful eyes, her small mouth slightly agape, with a look of disbelief on her beautiful face. With a look like she'd seen a ghost. One move, not even a move, was used. Just a single look instantly defeated a sea refining realm. 6th level top intersect genius. How is this possible? Isn't Lin Fan a rebellious trash? Doesn't he lack even the key condensation realm? Su Qing'an's worldview collapsed at this moment. She stared intently at me, suddenly recalling a few days ago, the bell that fell from the sky, and my effortless counter-kill against Zhao Keng. So senior brother has been hiding his strength. He's not a waste at all. He's a true peerless master in hiding. To think I was sentimental enough to want to protect him. I, the great empress, actually misjudged him. Su Qing'an's face flushed. She was so ashamed she wanted to find a hole to crawl into. But at the same time, the unyielding pride deep in her heart was also completely ignited. The comparison target of the Destiny Reverse scale. That's right, senior brother is my greatest opponent. I looked at Li Qi, who was prone on the ground vomiting blood, and waved my hand in disgust. Take your dogs and get out of my sight. If you dare step onto Drunken Moon Peak again, I'll chop you up and feed you to the pigs. Those lackeys were so scared they soiled themselves, scrambling to carry the half-dead Li Qi, running away as if their lives depended on it. I turned my head and looked at Su as if seeking credit, running for my life. I turned my head, looking at Su Qing'an as if waiting for praise. Junior sister, isn't senior brother handsome? But to my surprise, Su Qing'an took a deep breath. His eyes became sharper and more passionate than ever. He suddenly grabbed my sleeve. I was frightened. What are you doing? Are you trying to harass me? Su Qing'an bit his red lips. Word by word. Senior brother, you've been hiding things from me and it's killing me. But I'll never admit defeat. One day, I will defeat you with my own hands. After saying that, he acted like he was supercharged. He dashed toward the back mountain without looking back, and went back to crazily training in seclusion. I stood there, totally lost. This doesn't fit the script. Normally, shouldn't he be holding me, crying his eyes out, and then pledge himself to me? How did this awaken his twisted obsession with winning? But in my mind, the system notification suddenly rang out. Ding! Detected. Junior sister, Su Qing'an has erupted with an incredibly terrifying will to cultivate. Cultivation efficiency boosted by 1,000%. Host is now sinking and gaining experience at 10,000 times the normal speed. Feeling the raging surge of energy within me again, the corners of my mouth curled up. Cool. Let him grind all he wants. As long as it doesn't kill me, I'll grind even harder. In the end, I'm the one who wins anyway. This matter once again set off a storm in Tianji Sword Sect. First disciple Li Qi was crippled. The entire upper echelon of the sect was alarmed. First disciple Li Qi was crippled. The entire upper echelon of the sect was alarmed. That night, inside the main hall of Tianji Sword Sect, sat a white-robed young man, dazzling like the stars. Seated at the head of the hall, sword energy enveloped him. One would think he could split the heavens at any time. Tianji Sword Sect's #1 genius, Chief Senior Disciple Jiyu Tianxing. Useless. All of them are useless. Jiyu Tianxing slammed his palm down, utterly shattering the rosewood table in front of him. He looked down at Li Qi, who lay on a stretcher, battered and broken. His face was dark with rage. He's been a loser for 3 years, so how could he suddenly grow this powerful? Jiyu Tianxing's gaze was sinister. He must have gotten his hands on some ancient inheritance. Or maybe that crazy woman Shen Qingku gave him a priceless treasure. An elder beside him said nervously, Young Master Jiyu, this Lin Fan is hiding really deep. We'd better just keep quiet. Jiyu Tianxing snorted coldly. In another half-month, the day to open the Tiangang Sword Tomb arrives. Within the Sword Tomb lies an unrivaled inheritance from generations of swordmasters. I don't believe Lin Fan would dare enter. If he does, I'll destroy his very soul inside the Sword Tomb. Scene change. Time passed. I was in a great mood, roasting a spirit chicken I'd somehow acquired. Su Qing'an walked over from the back mountain, dripping with sweat. After days of crazy grinding and pushing his limits, coming from the back mountain. After days of crazy grinding and pushing his limits, his cultivation actually grew to the very peak of the Lehigh level. He's just a hair's breadth away from the waving realm. That kind of speed is insane. If news of this got out, it would scare a bunch of old monsters to death. Of course, the one benefiting most is still me. I'm now solidly at the peak of mid-kingly realm. Junior sister, have a drumstick, replenish yourself. I handed her a roasted golden crispy drumstick. Su Qing'an didn't take it, but instead stared at me with burning eyes. Senior brother, 3 days from now the sect will open the Tiangang Sword Tomb. They say the sect's supreme treasure, the Tia Sword Spirit, is inside. Tia Sword Spirit. I want to go in. I was stunned for a moment. If you want to go, just go. Why report to me? Su Qing'an clenched his teeth. Jiyu Tianxing made it clear. If I even step foot into the Sword Tomb, he'll kill me. And he's a top expert at the 5th waiting level. So, he actually showed a rare bit of girlish shyness. His cheeks turned a little pink. I want to ask senior brother to go with me. Ding, Su Qing'an has sent you a party invitation. If you refuse, it will seriously hurt junior sister's motivation and affect her cultivation progress. Damn, this is straight up moral blackmail, huh? But when I think about it, there must be tons of opportunities in the sword tomb. Su Qing'an, the treasure hunting mouse, goes in and collects stuff, triggers good fortune, and I get a critical windfall in return. So if I'm the treasure hunting mouse, and I go in and collect good stuff and trigger critical returns, I might just take off on the spot. I waved my hand grandly. Let's go, feeling fired up. Senior brother will carry you through everything. Who cares about Jiyu Tianxing, Jiyu Dixing, whatever? Whoever messes with my junior sister, I'll beat him until he can't be Jiyu Xing. Su Qing'an couldn't help but laugh out loud. That stunning smile was like winter snow melting, and all the flowers blooming at once. It made my heart skip a beat. This girl really is lethal when she smiles. 3 days later, the main peak plaza of Tianji Sword Sect was packed with people. Every inner disciple and elder had gathered there. In the center of the massive plaza stood an ancient bronze gate locked tight with countless iron chains. It loomed silently. That was the entrance to the Tiangang sword tomb. When Su Qing'an and I walked into the plaza side by side, the noisy crowd instantly went silent. Countless eyes focused sharply on us. Some taunting, some wary, some curious, some jealous. Look, it's those freaky siblings from Zuyu Peak. Lin Fan really dared to show up. He crippled Li Qi. Senior brother Ji Yu will never let him go. He's looking for death, if you ask me. The crowd parted to make way. Jiyu Tianxing stepped forward in white robes, like a superstar among a crowd of admirers. His gaze was arrogant, looking down on me from above. Lin Fan, I thought, you'd be a coward for life. Didn't expect you to actually come and throw your life away. I dug in my ear, flicked some dirt off my fingernail. Who are you again? Our village's yellow dog has a name that sounds way better than yours. The whole crowd gasped in shock. Is Lin Fan crazy? He actually insulted the sect's #1 genius to his face, calling Jiyu Tianxing a dog. Jiyu Tianxing's face instantly turned dark purple. Veins bulged on his forehead. You're dead. Just as he was about to explode, a thunderous bell sounded from the sky. The sect master's majestic voice echoed across the plaza. The auspicious hour has arrived. The sword tomb is now open. Boom, the huge bronze gates began to slowly open. A wave of ancient, desolate sword intent washed over us. Jiyu Tianxing glared at me, making a throat-slitting gesture. Lin Fan, once you're inside, I'll show you what a fate worse than death looks like. He then charged in first, a beam of light. I shrugged, then said to Su Qing'an, junior sister, stick close to me, it's dark in there. Don't fall. Su Qing'an nodded obediently. After entering the sword tomb, we found ourselves in a dim, unusual space. The ground was covered with countless broken ancient swords. Every sword held a trace of its former wielder's sword intent. Whoa, so much junk metal everywhere. I casually kicked away a rusty sword. But Su Qing'an looked very serious. Senior brother, don't get careless. The sword intents here will actively attack intruders. And just as he finished speaking, hundreds of broken swords around us started buzzing loudly, then suddenly shot into the air in unison, forming a swirling sword blade storm, slashing toward us. What a cheap trick. Su Qing'an snorted coldly, just about to make a move, but I stepped in front of him instead. Junior sister, stand back. Let senior brother show off a little. Let senior brother handle this. I casually raised my right hand. Didn't even use any inner energy. Just used the raw power of my kingly stage body and slapped the air. A shockwave boomed, shattering eardrums. The sky full of flying blades, lethal even to Lehigh-level cultivators, were all turned to dust in the air by my casual slap. Iron powder rained everywhere. Su Qing'an was stunned again. Just pure physical strength smashed a sword blade storm to bits with one slap. Senior brother's body? Was it forged from ancient divine iron or what? Ding! Su Qing'an is absolutely shocked by the host's strength. Favorability +10. I smugly patted my hands. Let's go, junior sister. We're heading for the deepest part. The two of us pushed forward unhindered, searching for treasure in the deepest reaches. Every sword-intent remnant soul that dared to block our way was shattered by a single slap from me. Until we finally reached the deepest part of the sword tomb, the Sword Heart Altar. Over a dozen top-tier geniuses had already gathered here. Jiyu Chenxing was standing at the center of the altar. Right in front of him hovered a crystal-clear, ice-blue giant sword. The sword's blade emitted a terrifying chill that even made souls tremble. Haha, found it. Jiyu Chenxing laughed wildly with joy. A supreme heavenly-grade divine weapon. Frost 9 Province's sword. With this I'll sweep my generation. I'll dominate the northern wilderness. Just as he was about to grab the sword's hilt, a cold voice sounded behind him. I want that sword. Jiyu Chenxing quickly turned around and saw me and Su Qing'an standing at the edge of the altar, unsure when we arrived. He was startled at first, then immediately sneered. Lin Fan, you guys managed to reach here. But that's perfect. Saves me the trouble of going out to look for you. Today, neither of you will leave here alive. Jiyu Chenxing suddenly drew the Frost 9 Province's sword. Buzz's extremely terrifying icy sword aura burst out instantly. The altar's temperature dropped sharply to freezing point. Nearby inner disciples were so scared they hurriedly retreated, faces full of terror. Master Jiyu. Senior brother Jiyu is going all out. This sword paired with him. With his cultivation at the peak, even if an elder came, they'd have to avoid direct confrontation. Su Qing'an felt the chill in the air, and the ice dragon bloodline within him began to resonate faintly. A flash of greed shone in his beautiful eyes. Senior brother, this sword is extremely useful to me.
I smiled. Useful, huh?
That just means it's an experience bag. I patted his shoulder. Go get it. Whoever dares to stop you, I'll kill them. So arrogant and domineering. Jiyu Chenxing, enraged, smirked. Such boasting. Prepare to die. Ezu Ling Shuang sword technique. 100 Zhanglong ice blue sword aura carried a deadly chill that could freeze everything. It slashed straight at me. The power of this strike was overwhelming. Su Qing'an's face turned pale. He cried out in surprise. Yet facing what seemed like an invincible strike, I didn't even try to dodge. I simply raised my right hand slowly and pointed out my index finger. With a sound echoing like a giant bell, the terrifying sword aura, 100 zhang long, smashed violently onto my index finger. Yet my finger remained without even a white mark. Instead, the sword aura was shattered as if it collided with an unbreakable divine mountain, instantly exploding into countless ice crystals. Impossible! Jiyu Chenxing's eyes almost popped out. They were bulging with shock. His prideful killer sword strike, paired with a heavenly grade divine weapon, couldn't even sever a finger of Lin Fan's. What sort of monster is this? The genius onlookers were so frightened they collapsed onto the ground. Their jaws nearly hit the floor. This can't be real. What realm are you in, exactly? Jiyu Chenxing's mentality completely collapsed. He roared hysterically. I yawned, looking bored. Is that all you've got? You dare call yourself the top genius? You've really disappointed me. As soon as I finished speaking, I slapped my hand across. Smack, this slap. I put in a bit of effort, about 10% of Marquis-level power. A huge handprint of true energy appeared from thin air, striking Jiyu Chenxing's face hard. Paw! Half of Jiyu Chenxing's face was instantly battered bloody, teeth spraying out mixed with blood. His whole body shot out like a cannonball, slamming into a far wall of the altar, forming a human-shaped crater. The heavenly grade divine weapon, Frost 9 Province's sword, flew out of his hand, spinning in the air. Su Qing'an was quick and agile, jumping upward, grabbing it in his hand. Just as he grasped the sword boom, the ice dragon bloodline suppressed within him for so long finally couldn't be held back any longer. It couldn't be held back any longer. A clear, resonant dragon roar shot up from within him straight to the heavens. Hundreds of Zhonglong gold and silver ice dragon shadow coiled behind him. The intense cold instantly froze the entire sword tomb. The bodies resonated in unison. The sacred physique descended. Outside, in the plaza, the sect master and all the peak lords who were previously sitting on high rose in shock at the same time. What kind of constitution is that? It actually triggered a heaven and earth phenomenon? This chill. Could it be the legendary ice dragon sacred physique? From the direction of the sword tomb. Quick, let's check it out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Over a dozen streams of light shot madly toward the sword tomb. Inside the sword tomb now, Su Qing'an was holding the divine sword, like a snow goddess of war. His cultivation, aided by the sword's feedback, immediately broke through the fiery sea realm's bottleneck, stepping into the cauldron fusion realm. Ding! Detected that junior sister acquired a heavenly grade divine weapon and awakened her sacred physique. Breakthrough in realms achieved, triggering ultimate 10,000 times critical return. Boom, my mind buzzed loudly, and the system panel's rewards nearly blinded me. Congratulations, host. You obtained a supreme god-grade artifact, Ancient Slayer Sword. Congratulations, host. You fused with the ancient divine dragon bloodline. Congratulations, host. Your cultivation realm is skyrocketing. Skyrocketing breakthrough. Late Marquis realm, Marquis pinnacle, half step. Royal realm, royal realm. One click crack. Inside my body, it felt like an unbreakable shackle was cut off. A royal pressure worthy of making heaven and earth tremble spilled uncontrollably from me. Even though I tried my best to hide it, the aura I leaked in that instant blew a giant hole through the sword tomb's hard dome. Boomed a huge crater. The sect master and various peak lords who arrived outside just rushed to the entrance of the sword tomb when they were struck by this terrifying royal pressure, causing them to fall directly from midair. Bang, bang, bang. All those revered elders and the sect master now crashed to the ground like dumplings, covered in dirt and dust. A royal realm powerhouse. The sect master was shocked beyond belief. His whole body trembled violently. When has my Heaven's Edge Sword sect ever had a hidden royal realm supreme powerhouse? And at that moment in the sword tomb, I hurriedly withdrew all my aura, pretending nothing had happened. Su Qing'an just broke through and was extremely excited. He turned his head, just in time to see the high levels rush in, looking battered and embarrassed. Sect master elders. Su Qing'an was a little dazed. The sect master instantly spotted the ice dragon shadow behind Su Qing'an, which hadn't fully faded yet. The unfaded ice dragon shadow. He gasped sharply. His eyes lit up with a greedy green glow. Ice dragon's sacred physique. It really is the ice dragon's sacred physique. Heavens bless my Heaven's Edge Sword sect. The Kangli Peak Master jumped out first, face flushing red. Little girl, hurry over to join Kangli Peak. I'll take you as my last disciple and pour all of this peak's resources into you. Bullshit, the Lingyao Peak Master was furious. She's a girl, so of course she belongs in Lingyao Peak. I'll guarantee you'll reach the Marquis realm within 10 years. She should join Fuanjian Peak. In an instant, these elders who usually acted all refined and immortal were now cursing at each other, fighting over Su Qing'an, the peerless genius. They nearly started a physical fight, completely ignoring Jiu Tianxing and me on the side. Jiu Tianxing climbed out of the crater, watched the scene, so angry that he spat another mouthful of blood. Then he fainted, totally knocked out. The so-called top genius wasn't even worth a fart now. Not even a fart at this moment. As the elders argued endlessly, I stepped forward, not loud, but clear enough for everyone to hear. Are you elders all confused now? My junior sister now belongs to Zuyu Peak. As soon as I said that, the entire area fell silent. All the elders gazed. All the elders of Silence Peak stared at me. In an instant, their gazes landed on me like knives. Peak Lord of Kangli Peak already held a grudge against me because his disciple Li Qi was crippled. He resented me deeply. Now he erupted on the spot. How dare a traitorous loser like you cut in? This is the elder's decision. What good disciple could a drunk like Shen Qingku possibly teach? Leaving such a supreme physique on Drunken Moon Peak is simply a waste. Lin Fan, if you know what's good for you, you'd better convince your junior sister to come under my tutelage. Otherwise, he didn't finish his sentence. A terrifying pressure from a half-emperor suddenly descended. It crashed down on him without warning. Bang! The Kangli Peak Lord was caught off guard. He was forced onto one knee by the overwhelming pressure. Or what? A lazy yet chillingly enchanting voice rang out from midair. Everyone looked up. The void suddenly split open. A woman in a red dress walked slowly through the air, barefoot and breathtakingly beautiful. She was none other than my master, Shen Qingku, still holding a wine gourd. Her stunning face was flushed with a drunken blush, but her autumn-like eyes were blazing with murderous intent. You old geezer, how dare you call me a drunk? And you have the nerve to steal my disciple? Shen Qingku sneered. Did I ever give you that privilege? Boom! Shen Qingku's aura erupted without restraint. Her presence exploded without holding back. Red sword energy crisscrossed the sky, shattering the void into pieces. The half-emperor sect master was visibly shaken. He hurried to mediate. Junior sister, please calm down. Let's discuss this peacefully. We're all acting for the future of our sect. Shen Qingku was unmoved. Her brows arched sharply. For the good of the sect? You then try to steal disciples from me? Believe it or not, I'll raise your mountaintop with a single sword strike. The entire place fell dead silent. Everyone knew Shen Qingku was infamous for being a crazy woman. If you really push her, she would absolutely do it. The sect master could only wipe the cold sweat from his brow and look to Su Qing'an for help. Qing'an, the choice is yours. Go to whichever peak you wish. It's entirely up to you. No one can force you. Everyone held their breath, all eyes fixed on Su Qing'an. Anyone with a brain would pick the peak with the best resources. Staying on Drunken Moon Peak was simply destroying your own future. Yet Su Qing'an didn't hesitate for a second. He turned to look at me. His eyes flashed with deep gentleness. Then, in front of everyone, he declared firmly, Sect Master, Elders, I, Su Qing'an, was born of Drunken Moon Peak, and will die as one of Drunken Moon Peak. If I die, I'll be the ghost of Drunken Moon Peak. Other than my senior brother and master, I recognize no one else. Boom! The hall erupted in commotion. The sect master stomped in frustration. That's enough, girl. Don't act on impulse. Drunken Moon Peak is so poor it doesn't even have a decent spirit gathering array. So how will it nurture someone with your physique? The Kangli Peak Lord was furious. Lin Fan, what did you feed her to brainwash her? He's a complete loser. He'll just drag you down. Hearing someone call me a loser, Su Qing'an's eyes instantly flashed with killing intent.
He suddenly raised his Frost Nine Provinces sword,
pointing it directly at Kangli Peak. Peak Lord, shut up, you old dog. If senior brother is a loser, all of you here aren't even worthy of being the dirt beneath his feet. The hall fell silent again. Everyone thought Su Qing'an had lost his mind. Standing up for a so-called traitorous senior brother, and daring to openly insult the Peak Lord. Only I stood aside, feeling so moved my tears nearly fell. Ah, this sweet little disciple really didn't let me down. Now she's ready to swear to the heavens for my sake. Shen Qingku heard this, and burst out laughing towards the sky. What an arrogant girl. That's exactly my style. Just for those words, from now on in Tianji Sword Sect, if anyone dares bully you two, I'll wipe out their whole family. Shen Qingku flung her wide sleeve, sweeping me up. She waved her large sleeve, scooping up me and Su Qing'an, tearing open the void, and left in a show of force, leaving only a stunned crowd behind, with the elders all livid and speechless. Back at Drunken Moon Peak, as soon as Shen Qingku landed, her commanding demeanor vanished instantly. She clutched her chest and began coughing violently. A trickle of black blood flowed from the corner of her mouth. My expression changed, and I quickly stepped up to support her. Master, what's wrong? Su Qing'an hurried over, visibly worried. Shen Qingku waved her hand, wiped away the blood, and managed a bitter smile. Just forced my true energy to act tough, and triggered some old injuries inside. It's nothing, just old wounds. I frowned slightly, and secretly enabled my system's god-level detection eye. Target, Shen Qingku. Condition, afflicted with the Taigu Corpse demon curse. The poison has penetrated deep into her bones. It's about to erupt. I was shocked. My master was struck with such a terrifying curse. No wonder she drinks and sleeps all day. It was all to suppress the poison. Today, to protect us, she forced herself to act, which triggered the curse ahead of time. You two go rest for now. I need to go into seclusion for a few days. Though she forced herself to stand strong, Shen Qingku staggered off toward her cave residence. Watching her faltering silhouette, my heart tightened. Seeing her unsteady back, I felt a surge of pain and determination. Though my master never paid me much attention, at critical moments she risked her life for me. I, Lin Fan, will never forget this kindness. I will repay this debt. That night, after everyone was asleep, I avoided Su Qing'an and quietly snuck into my master's cave. A strong aura of death filled the cave. Shen Qingku was curled up in agony on a jade bed, her stunning face now pale as paper. Her exposed skin was covered in terrifying black demonic markings. She was enduring an unimaginable torment. Shen Qingku's senses were razor sharp. She suddenly opened her eyes wide, and when she saw it was me, she froze for a moment. In a weak but angry voice, "Get out! Who let you in here?" She didn't want me to see her like this. Not quite human, not quite ghost. I didn't say a word, just walked toward her bed step by step. You rebellious brat, don't you understand human words? Get out! She tried to push me away, but didn't even have the strength to raise her hand. I ignored her struggles entirely, and grabbed her icy, slender hand. You brat, how dare you be disrespectful to your master? Shen Qingku wanted to flare up, but the next instant, an endless surge of pure emperor energy rushed forth like a vast ocean, flowing from my palm and forcefully flooding into her body. Through my palm, it surged inside her. Boom! Shen Qingku shuddered violently, her eyes widened, staring at me in disbelief. Her face was full of shock. This power? Emperor Realm? Who are you, really? She was completely stunned. The rebellious, useless disciple she'd raised for 3 years, suddenly, in the dead of night, burst forth with 10 times the power she had. This was even crazier than the sky collapsing. What a shock. Master, don't speak. Focus your mind. I gave no explanation, pouring all my strength forth, beginning to forcibly wash away her corpse demon curse. Those stubborn, tormenting black demon marks that had plagued Shen Qingku for decades instantly met my emperor energy and melted like snow under the blazing sun. They started dissolving like crazy. The whole process was agonizing. Shen Qingku gritted her teeth, her body drenched in fragrant sweat. Her clothes were soaked through, outlining her dangerous curves. But I kept my mind clear, sweat beading on my own brow as well. The process lasted a full 3 hours. Whoosh! Shen Qingku spat out a mouthful of black, foul-smelling poison blood. With that, the deathly aura in her body disappeared, replaced by a surge of new life. Not only was she freed from the curse, my new strength. Not only is his curse completely gone, he even found a blessing in disguise. His cultivation jumped directly from a half-step emperor to a complete breakthrough into the early stage of the emperor realm. I let out a long breath, slumping onto the ground, exhausted to the core. Mission accomplished. Shen Qingku sat blankly on the bed, feeling the long-lost lightness and surging power within her body. She looked at me as if she were looking at a monster. She remained silent for a long time. Suddenly, after a long silence, she leapt up from the bed, grabbed me by the collar, and pinned me directly against the wall. Our faces were extremely close, I could even feel her hot breath. Lin Fan, you bastard. Kid. Shen Qingqiu's eyes were red. She spoke through gritted teeth. Do you think it's fun to play your master for a fool? A dignified Emperor Realm powerhouse, coming to my pathetic peak to pretend to be trash for 3 years. What exactly is your motive? I looked at the stunning face right in front of me, smelling the faint scent of a virgin mixed with the aroma of wine on her. I swallowed hard, smiling awkwardly. Master, calm down. If I said this cultivation just developed in the last few days, would you believe me? Believe you my ass. Shen Qingku wouldn't listen to my excuses at all. Her eyes narrowed slightly, suddenly revealing an extremely dangerous and seductive smile. Kid, I don't care why you hid your strength, or what you're trying to do. Kid, I don't care why you hid your strength, or what you're trying to do. Since you've made a joke of your master, you must pay the price. After saying that, she actually ripped open her own collar. I was horrified. Master, what are you doing? I'm a decent man. Shut up. This lady is going to strip you naked today, to see what secrets are hidden in this body of yours. For the rest of the night, I underwent a tragic full-body inspection. Shen Qingku, relying on her authority as a master, though she was actually just being a hooligan, felt all over my body, probing my meridians and bones. It wasn't until dawn was approaching that she finally stopped, panting. What the hell? It's clearly still an archaic structure. Why are the meridians wider than those of an ancient beast? She rubbed her chin, completely baffled. I was hiding in the corner with my clothes in disarray, wanting to cry but having no tears. What is this even? I, a dignified Emperor Realm boss, was actually molested by my master. All right, stop looking like an aggrieved little wife. Shen Qingku rolled her eyes at me, but her eyes were shimmering with a very bright light. I won't ask about your secrets, but starting today, you, as the eldest disciple, must support Drunken Moon Peak for me. If anyone dares to bully your junior sister, you hit them back hard for me. I straightened my clothes and nodded solemnly. You don't need to tell me. I will. I straightened my clothes and nodded solemnly. You don't need to tell me. I will. She's my lifeblood after all. Early the next morning, as soon as I stepped out of the cave dwelling, I saw Su Qingyan pacing anxiously in the courtyard. Seeing me come out, she immediately came up to meet me. Her nose suddenly twitched twice. Senior brother, why do you have master's scent on you? Su Qingyan frowned slightly. On that stunning face, a hint of jealousy actually appeared for the first time. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly tried to laugh it off. Really? Maybe it's because I was guarding master's door last night. It must have rubbed off. Junior sister, is something wrong? Su Qingyan looked at me suspiciously, but she didn't press further. Instead, she said seriously, Senior brother, the Inner Sect Grand Competition is in 10 days. The top prize for this competition is a 9-orifice barrier-breaking pill. That pill can not only cleanse the marrow and tendons, but even has a chance to change archaic aptitude. Su Qingyan clenched her small fists, her eyes full of determination. Senior brother, don't worry. I will definitely take first place in the competition, and bring that pill back to change your constitution. Ding, detected. Junior sister has set a grand goal. Issuing advanced task. Assist junior sister in winning first place in the Inner Sect Grand Competition. Task reward. Permission to open the sign-in mystery box. Hearing this, I was overjoyed. Good sister, she's so considerate. She was overjoyed in her heart. Good sister, she's so considerate. She works her soul off for me, and in the end, the system's crit bonus still returns to me. This kind of stepping on your left foot with your right to fly win-win situation is simply perfect. However, I also knew well that the Inner Sect Grand Competition is full of hidden talents. All those true disciples and core disciples will come out of seclusion. Relying solely on Su Qingyan's first-level transformation peak realm cultivation, it's probably not enough. It seems for these 10 days, I need to give her some heavy medicine. A golden light flashed in my eyes. Su Qingyan's destiny age reversal can actually be performed once a month. Forced luck stripping. compared to her previous life where she grew cautiously and didn't use this heaven-defying cheat much. Now, with a super bodyguard like me around, one can totally take her to the whole Heavenly Pole Sword sect to extort everyone. The ones we can't beat. I'll slap them into being crippled first, then let her harvest their luck. Just thinking about that scene, the smile on my face gradually became twisted. Junior sister, I patted Su Qing'an's shoulder and said earnestly, bitter cultivation is too slow. Senior brother will take you to do something exciting. Su Qing'an was stunned. Where? I pointed towards Kangli Peak. My smile was like the demons. To their home base. To rob all the resources they've hidden in their treasure vault. Su Qing'an's eyes widened. Rob the Kangli Peak treasure vault? But that has... Su Qing'an's eyes widened. Rob the Kangli Peak treasure vault? That is a forbidden area guarded by 7 transformation peak realm. Peak level elders. Is senior brother crazy? However, looking into my deep and confident eyes, the blood in Su Qing'an's body actually began to boil uncontrollably as well. She gritted her teeth and unsheathed the frosty 9 provinces sword. All right, I'll listen to senior brother. I took Su Qing'an and walked brazenly on the mountain path toward Kangli Peak. The mountain wind blew against her pure white skirt. Her palms holding the frosty 9 provinces sword were slightly sweaty. Senior brother, Kangli Peak has the deepest foundation in the Heavenly Pole Sword sect. If we just rush over like this, won't it be too risky? Although Su Qing'an has the pride of an empress, her cultivation is only at the transformation peak realm right now. Facing Kangli Peak with its many old monsters, she's bound to feel a bit apprehensive. I walked in front, without looking back, hands behind my head, with a piece of foxtail grass in my mouth. My stride was full of arrogant defiance. What are you afraid of? Senior brother is here. If the sky falls, senior brother will be your blanket. Today we aren't going to rob them. We're going to take back the advance reward that belongs to you for being first in the competition. This is called a legal claim for mental distress damages. Got it? Su Qing'an was dazed. Mental distress damages? What kind of peerless cultivation technique is that? Before they knew it, the two had arrived in front of Kangli Peak's Grand Mountain Gate. 2 giant white jade stone lions exuded an intimidating pressure. Outside the gate, a dozen inner sect elites with heavy swords were on guard. Seeing us walking over so brazenly, the leading disciple immediately drew his sword and stood firm. Kangli Peak's restricted area. No outsiders or dogs allowed. Especially you trash from Drunken Moon Peak. I didn't even lift an eyelid, and I didn't even bother to slow down. Su Qing'an's eyes turned cold, just as she was about to draw her sword to force her way in. I pressed down on her shoulder. Junior sister for these nobodies, you don't need to draw your sword. Why use a butcher's knife for a chicken? Watch your senior brother. I took a deep breath, focused my energy, and roared at those dozen gate-guarding disciples. Get lost. With this roar, I secretly infused 100 millionth of Emperor Realm pressure. To Su Qing'an, it just sounded like a normal person, shouting loudly. But in the ears of those dozen gate-guarding disciples, it was like heavenly thunder, exploding directly in the depths of their souls. Those arrogant inner sect elites didn't even have time to scream. All at once, their eyes rolled back as they foamed at the mouth, like they were being hit by a hurricane. Swept away like leaves by a fierce wind, they were sent flying hundreds of meters back and crashed onto the stone steps behind the mountain gate. It formed a mountain of people. Su Qing'an was stunned. He stared at his own hands in disbelief, then looked at me. Senior brother, what did you just do? I shrugged, looking completely innocent. I didn't do anything. Maybe it's because I'm too handsome. I must have dazzled them. Black lines appeared all over Su Qing'an's head. He thought to himself, there's no way it's that simple. Senior brother clearly didn't have any fluctuation of true ki. At that moment, he must have triggered an extremely profound law of the universe. Ultimate simplicity is the way. The deepest sound is silence. Senior brother's cultivation level Could it be at the point where words become reality? Thinking of this, Su Qing'an looked at me with growing reverence. There was even a hint of fanatic worship. Detected junior sister's blind worship of the host. Favorability +5. Current favorability, 52. Listening to the system's notification in my mind, I couldn't be happier inside. This little girl is so easy to fool. Come on, let's go stock up in their treasure vault. I waved my hand grandly and marched in with Su Qing'an. Kanglifing really lives up to its name as the #1 wind. Rare spirit flowers and herbs were everywhere along the way. The spiritual energy was so dense it was almost tangible. Very quickly, we arrived at the Forbiddance area behind Kanglifing's mountain, the Zhuanwu Spirit Vault. Here stood a massive palace made entirely of obsidian. The gate was tightly shut, covered in dense arrays of defensive runes. In front of the palace sat 7 old men with snow-white hair and beards. Each of the 7 had an imposing mountain-like presence. All of them were actually elders at the peak of the transformation realm. At that moment, they all opened their eyes at the same time. 7 piercing killing auras instantly locked onto us. Who dares trespass in Kanglifing's Forbiddance area? The head elder shouted in fury. His voice boomed like a bell, making the surrounding leaves fall with a rustle. Su Qing'an's expression changed drastically. 7 at peak transformation realm. Even if he activated the Ice Dragon Holy Body, he could never take on this many at once. Senior brother, this is bad. We need to retreat. Su Qing'an instinctively shielded me, trying to cover our retreat. Looking at her thin but determined back, a wave of warmth washed through my heart. This girl is clearly scared to death, but her first reaction is still to protect me, her seemingly powerless senior brother. Just for that, we're definitely stripping Kanglifing bare today. I'm not letting this opportunity go. I patted Su Qing'an's shoulder and pulled her behind me. Junior sister, remember this. A true powerhouse never looks back at the explosion. Close your eyes and walk forward 10 steps. I promise they won't even touch a strand of your hair. Su Qing'an was stunned. Walk forward with eyes closed. Isn't that suicide? But looking into my unfathomable eyes, she nodded almost involuntarily. I trust you, senior brother. She really closed her beautiful eyes, gripped her sword tightly, and walked step by step toward the 7 transformation elders. How arrogant! Courting death, the 7 elders flew into a rage. When had they ever suffered such humiliation? A rookie who had just entered transformation realm actually dared to provoke them with her eyes closed. Activate the killing array. The head elder roared. All 7 formed hand seals at once. In the sky, 7 giant, flaming swords, dozens of yards long, took shape. Carrying a terrifying might that could boil rivers and seas, they slashed down at Su Qing'an. Su Qing'an felt the world-destroying heat wave, and her delicate body trembled slightly. But she bit her lip hard and didn't retreat an inch. Just as the 7 flaming swords were about to reduce Su Qing'an to ashes, I stood behind her and snapped my fingers nonchalantly. Snap, with that faint sound, the boundless imperial might within me, my limitless true key of the Emperor realm, turned into an invisible wave, sweeping across the whole scene instantly. Those 7 awe-inspiring, flaming swords, as if caught by a colossal, invisible ancient hand, were shattered midair with a boom, turning into a shower of sparks. But that wasn't all. The invisible wave then crashed fiercely onto the 7 elders. 7 high-standing elders, all spewed blood at the same time. They only felt as if 100,000 mountains suddenly crushed their backs.
Thud, thud.
A series of knees shattering echoed out. The 7 peak transformation elders couldn't control themselves and knelt simultaneously before Su Qing'an. Their knees caved 7 huge holes into the obsidian floor. They looked up in terror, as if gazing at a demon god, staring at Su Qing'an as she walked over with her eyes closed. What kind of sorcery did you use? The head elder was scared out of his wits, cold sweat pouring down his entire body. The 10 steps completed, Su Qing'an slowly opened her eyes and saw all 7 high elders before her, kneeling and spitting blood. She was totally dumbfounded. Is this even possible? She didn't even attack. Just then, the destiny reverse scale at her brow suddenly burned hot. A blood-red light flared, moonlight blazing as well. A vast force of fate was forcibly stripped from the 7 elders, then wildly surged into Su Qing'an's body. Su Qing'an instantly realized, so it's the destiny reverse scale. This is the ultimate power that snatches fate by force. Under this absolute fate suppression, no way the 7 elders could withstand the backlash of the heavenly Tao. So they just knelt? She was overjoyed and gained a totally new understanding of the destiny reverse scale's power. But I, standing behind, nearly burst out laughing. Destiny reverse scale, really? It was my imperial pressure that rubbed them into the dirt. But since she imagined it as her own cheat ability, I might as well let her think that. Su Qing'an now looked down at the 7 elders. Her empress aura circulated fully. Open the door or die. The head elder couldn't muster any arrogance anymore. Crushed by this terrifying force, he could only tremble as he handed over the key jade token. Su Qing'an accepted it, turned to look at me, and grinned like a child getting candy. Senior brother, I did it. Let's go in. I walked up laughing, ruffled her hair, and praised, nice job. Kang Lifeng is footing the bill today. Take whatever you like. As the vault doors roared open, a rush of energy erupted. With potent medicinal fragrance and spiritual energy, it hit us head on. No wonder this is the Great Wind's treasure. The vault was filled with dazzling treasures, shelves stacked with all kinds of rare spiritual herbs, advanced techniques and cultivation methods, and piles of top-grade spirit stones. Su Qing'an's eyes sparkled, and she unceremoniously took out her storage bag and started looting like crazy. Everywhere she passed, it was like locusts sweeping the field, leaving nothing behind. When she reached the deepest part of the vault, her steps suddenly stopped. Inside a jade box covered with layers of wards lay quietly a piece of blue marrow radiating chilling cold. The 9 heavens profound ice phoenix marrow. Su Qing'an's voice was trembling. This is the rare treasure that can make the ice dragon bloodline transform and evolve completely. There might not be a second one in the whole northern wasteland. And Kang Lifeng actually hid such a divine item. She broke the formation without hesitation, grasped the glowing blue marrow in her hand, and felt its power perfectly resonate with her own bloodline. Her eyes reddened with excitement. With this, I'll definitely crush everyone at the inner sect competition. Senior brother, once I get first place and win the 9 aperture barrier breaking pill, you'll be saved? Ding! Detected that junior sister has obtained a peerless opportunity. 9 heavens profound ice phoenix marrow event triggered. The Zhuan ice marrow triggered a 100,000-fold critical strike refund. Congratulations, host. You've obtained a drop of the ancient ancestral dragon's origin blood. Congratulations, host. Your physical realm has broken through to eternal calamity immortality. Body, first layer boom. I'm standing at the entrance of the treasure vault. I suddenly feel an ancient, an overwhelmingly powerful force surging within me. It's a drop of blood radiating chaotic golden light. It flows along my meridians. Wherever it passes, my bones and meridians emit a dazzling golden glow, as if they've been reforged. My physical strength skyrockets uncontrollably. Now, even without using any true energy, just relying on the strength of my body, I could shatter a mountain into dust with a single punch. This feels amazing. Is this the thrill of carrying your teammates? I forcefully suppress my urge to let out a skyward roar and call out to Su Qing'an, who's still looting. Junior sister, that's enough. Leave them at least some underpants. Let's take it slow and steady. We can come back next time. Su Qing'an patted her bulging storage bag with satisfaction and followed behind me, swaggering out of the treasure vault. The 7 elders outside stared at the now empty vault, so angry that their blood pressure spiked, and they all fainted on the spot. When we returned to Drunken Moon Peak, it was already evening. The sunset turned the mountaintop a brilliant orange red. From the spoils I robbed, I picked out a few thousand-year-old spirit ginseng roots and top-grade demon beast meat, rolled up my sleeves and headed into the kitchen. Today is a day of great harvest. I have to make a good meal to reward myself for all my hard work. Before long, from the kitchen wafted a rich aroma that made anyone drool. This is no ordinary meal. I sliced thousand-year spirit ginseng as if it were carrots, and stir-fried supreme demon beast meat like pork. The spiritual energy contained in this meal is enough to make an ordinary cultivator's body explode and die instantly. It smells so good, what is that? A lazy, sleepy voice drifted over from the cave dwelling. Shen Qingku rubbed her sleepy eyes, her red dress half covering, half revealing large swaths of her snow-white skin. With her fair, bare feet she floated over. Ever since I detoxified her corpse demon curse, her cultivation has soared, and her presence has only become more alluring and radiant, like a perfectly ripe peach. Master, you woke up at the perfect time. Wash your hands and eat. I carried out a big bowl of spirit ginseng stewed meat. The moment Shen Qingku saw the dishes on the table, her eyes almost popped out. 1,000-year snow ginseng. Peak stage, 3rd tier. Demon beast meat from Bloody Rain? Where did you loot all this from, kid? These all belong to that old pal Kang Lifeng, the rooster's most precious part. I chuckled. Master, you must be joking. This is thanks to junior sister. Master, you must be joking. This is the mental damage compensation junior sister earned with her own strength. Su Qing'an walked out from the wooden cabin, having changed into a clean teal dress. She looked cold and ethereal. She saw Shen Qingku and respectfully bowed. Master Shen Qingku sat assertively at the table, grabbed a piece of meat with her hand and stuffed it into her mouth. She said unclearly, skip the formalities. Sit down and eat. This kid's cooking skill is 10,000 times better than the top chef at Fragrant Pavilion. The three of us sat around the stone table in the courtyard. Though there were only a few simple dishes, the atmosphere was incredibly warm and cozy. Shen Qingku drank wine, while competing with me for the meat. There was not a hint of elder's reserve. Su Qing'an, meanwhile, ate slowly and quietly at the side, but her chopsticks moved at an impressive speed. As I looked at the two of them, one so breathtakingly beautiful and fiery-tempered, the other cold as an immortal yet warm inside, I suddenly felt that the days struggling alone in my past life truly felt so far away. Now, having a master to protect me, and a junior sister to help power level, this is what true immortal life is all about. This is my home. After we'd all eaten our fill and drank enough, Shen Qingku let out a drunken burp and looked at Su Qing'an with hazy eyes. Girl, you robbed Kang Lifeng's treasure vault today, so that old man Jiyu Tenqing will definitely go complain to the sect leader. That old man is sure to snitch to the sect leader. But don't be afraid. With me here, they wouldn't dare fart in our direction. What you need to do now is go into seclusion and absorb that Juan ice marrow. In 10 days at the inner court competition, make sure to slap their faces hard for me. Su Qing'an nodded with determination. I won't let down Master's and senior brother's high hopes. Night deepened and moonlight spilled like water upon Drunken Moon Peak. Su Qing'an returned to the wooden cabin, sat down cross-legged, and took out the terrifyingly cold 9 Heavens Xuan Ice Phoenix Marrow. She took a deep breath, activated the clear wind technique, and began slowly channeling the marrow's power into her body. However, she underestimated just how domineering this ancient bone marrow was. The moment the extreme cold entered her meridians, something went terribly wrong. Boom! The formerly gentle ice dragon bloodline within Su Qing'an erupted like a provoked emperor, exploding in a frenzy of violent resistance. The two opposing forces of absolute cold became raging beasts in her body, fighting madly against each other. Su Qing'an let out a heart-wrenching scream, her stunning face instantly twisting in agony. A streak of blood trickled down from the corner of her mouth, but before it could drip to the ground, it froze into a red ice pearl. Her body,
His body.
visibly, was covered by a thick layer of solid ice. The horrifying cold energy instantly froze the whole wooden cabin into an ice sculpture, nearly freezing even the surrounding space itself. But more terrifying was the ultimate agony and collision of those two forces, directly triggering the depths of her soul, those memories she least wanted to revisit. In a past life, the Nine Heavens mystic realm, the gods of heaven besieged from all directions. Her most trusted lieutenant stabbed her heart from behind. Blood stained the Nine Heavens platform, faces filled with greed and coldness, venomous laughter echoing all around, like a tidal wave crashing into her mind. No, I can't die here. I must have my revenge. Su Qingyun's soul howled in despair and pain. But her body could no longer withstand these warring forces ripping her apart. Her meridians began snapping one after another. Her life force drained away at high speed. Just as life and death hung by a thread. Bang! A huge crash. The wooden door was kicked open by an incredibly dominant force. I rushed in wearing just thin inner clothes, my face full of grave concern. When I saw Su Qingyun, almost completely frozen into a lifeless ice statue, my heart instantly clenched. An indescribable agony stabbed through me. Junior sister? Su Qingyun forced open her eyes, covered in frost, struggling to open her eyes under the snow and ice, and saw me coming near. Using the last of her strength, she rasped hoarsely, "Don't come over, senior brother. Get out, this cold will freeze you to death too." She'd rather self-destruct than drag me down, than let me get hurt, the rebellious outcast in her eyes. Senior brother, silly girl. When has Lin Fan ever hidden behind a woman? Without hesitation, I strode forward and grabbed the nearly frozen Su Qingyun tightly into my arms, holding her close. This terrifying Zhuan ice key poured madly into me through my skin, as if trying to freeze my very soul. But I clenched my teeth without retreating an inch. System! Channel the power of the ancient ancestral dragon's blood. I roared inwardly. The dark gold blood in my body boiled completely. A supreme masculine, domineering aura of the ancient ancestral dragon erupted from inside me. I pressed my right hand on Su Qingyun's back. Pure ancestral dragon essence constantly poured into her body. The moment this force entered Su Qingyun, the ice dragon bloodline that had been fiercely fighting, and the Zhuan Ice Phoenix Mero, seemed to encounter the mightiest sovereign in all existence, and instantly calmed down. How dominant is the ancestral dragon's power? Its dominance swept everything aside. With overwhelming force, I crushed everything in my path. I forced these two energies together, tearing them apart, and fused them into one. Then I used this to nourish Su Qingyun's broken meridians, bit by bit. During this process, I had to endure extreme cold and heat, as the two forces alternated, torturing me. But I kept holding her tightly the entire time. I placed my chin gently on her forehead. My voice was gentle but firm. "Don't be afraid, Qingyun. I've got you covered. All those who hurt you, senior brother will help you take them down one by one. The memories of the past are gone. Now I am your family." Su Qingyun felt the broad, warm embrace and listened to words that reached deep into her soul. All that loneliness, hatred, and despair in the depths of his soul, at this moment, was completely dispelled by a warm light. Centuries of solitude, both past and present, he had always carried everything alone. No one had ever told him not to be afraid. "I've got you covered." Two warm, clear tears slid down from the corners of his eyes, melting the frost on his face. He clung tightly to my collar, like a lost child who finally found his way home. He broke down and sobbed in my arms. Senior brother, it hurts so much, and I'm so lonely." I gently patted his back. "It's okay, let it all out. From now on, you'll have master and senior brother. This is your home, with your senior brother here. This is your home." On this cold winter night, two hearts were pressed closely together. Ding! Detected that junior sister has fully opened her heart. A life and death bond formed. Favorability has reached max level 100. Ding. Triggered a billion-fold ultimate emotional feedback. Congratulations, host has acquired the special divine power, Shared Fate Array. Congratulations, host Soul Realm has advanced to Emperor Realm. Congratulations, host's cultivation has broken through to the peak of Royal Realm. Half-step Emperor Realm. A raging tsunami swept through my mind. But at this moment, I wasn't thinking about it at all. The system's rewards. All I did was quietly hold the girl in my arms as she fell into deep sleep. Until morning, after a night of life and death bonding, Su Qing'an miraculously benefited from disaster. She completely fused the Frost Phoenix bone marrow. Her cultivation advanced as if riding a rocket, soaring straight up to Tier 6 of the Apex realm. Only a few days remained before the big competition. She seemed like a totally different person. Gone was her old, icy demeanor that kept others at a distance. Every time she saw me, she would give me a sweet smile more stunning than any flower. She even proactively helped me make fire and cook. Like a gentle and caring little wife. Shen Qingku watched all this with amazement. He teased every day with a wine gourd in hand. Yo, yo, yo! How did our drunken moon peak's ice-cold beauty melt? How did our drunken moon peak's ice-cold beauty melt? Somebody here is really lucky with women. Even I, your master, feel moved just watching. Each time Shen Qingku said this, Su Qing'an would blush and lower her head, while I shamelessly accepted it all. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, the once-a-decade inter-sect competition of Tianji Sword Sect officially kicked off. On this day, every Tianji Sword Sect member made their name forever. Hundreds of thousands of inner and outer disciples, all gathered at the main summit, Yanwu Square. On the floating white jade grandstand in midair, the sect master and all the peak leaders took their seats one by one. Only the 7 elders of Kangli Peak, all called in sick and didn't show up today, which made everyone gossip. Only the sect master and Shen Qingku knew the real reason. The competition rules were simple. Draw lots, fight on stage, winners advance. Until the final champion emerges. The prize was that legendary 9-orifice barrier-breaking pill that could defy fate. Drunken Moon Peak seats were arranged at the very edge of the venue. But I didn't care at all. I moved a lounge chair and lay comfortably on it. Beside me, Shen Qingku drank wine, and Su Qing'an peeled grapes for me. This scene, when seen by disciples from other peaks, was absolutely infuriating. Isn't that Lin Fan the loser? How does he even have the nerve to compete? Depending on women to get by, mooching off them, showing up at the competition, relying on women for handouts. It's a disgrace to us men. Rumor has it Su Qing'an robbed Kangli Peak's treasury. She'd definitely get targeted and destroyed today. Malicious taunts echoed in the crowd. At that moment, a gaze full of resentment shot over from the opposite stand. It was Jiyu Tianqing, whose injuries had mostly healed. He stared hard at the Frost Nine Provinces sword in Su Qing'an's hand, his eyes burning with insane, murderous intent. Lin Fan, Su Qing'an. On today's arena during the competition, life and death don't count. I'll make you suffer every humiliation before you die. The competition officially began. The first few elimination rounds were uneventful. But soon, as Su Qing'an entered the stage, the atmosphere in the entire plaza soared to its peak. Su Qing'an's opponent was an elite disciple from Wan Jianfeng at the second tier of Apex Realm. That man looked at Su Qing'an's stunning face. His eyes flashed with lechery. Junior Sister Su, I might not be able to control my punches. If you surrender now, and call me good brother, I won't harm that pretty face of yours. Su Qing'an's expression didn't change. She didn't even draw her sword. She just coldly spat out 4 words, annoying pest, courting death. As soon as those words fell, she raised her jade hand and swung it forward casually. Boom! An extreme cold ice storm formed out of thin air. That elite disciple from Wan Jianfeng. Ice storm formed out of thin air. That elite disciple from Wan Jianfeng didn't even have time to react. Instantly frozen into an ice statue. Then Su Qing'an snapped her fingers. The ice statue was sent flying off the stage, slamming heavily onto the ground. The entire audience fell silent. One-shot kill, absolute domination. What realm is she at? She didn't even need to draw her sword, yet defeated a second-tier Apex expert instantly. The sect master sat high up, his eyes flashed with incredible brilliance. Such terrifying ice attribute true energy. This girl not only fully mastered her holy body, she even created her own path. I lay back in my chair, chewing grapes with satisfaction. Of course she's amazing. I spent plenty of nights giving her special training recently. All the combat insights I got from the system, ground-level battle comprehension, were secretly passed on through dual cultivation. Not dual cultivation, but palm-to-palm transmission. The next few rounds became Su Xing'an's solo performance. No matter the elites of Kangli Peak, or the geniuses of Lingyao Peak, they couldn't withstand a move from her Frost 9 Provinces sword. Not even one move. She was like an invincible ice Valkyrie, crushing everyone in her path, powerfully advancing to the finals. And her opponent in the finals, just as everyone expected, was none other than the enraged Kangli Peak's top disciple, Jiyu Tianxing on the final stage. Wind and rain stirred. Jiyu Tianxing on the final stage. The atmosphere changed dramatically. Jiyu Tianxing, dressed in white, his robes billowed without wind. His aura had multiplied several times compared to the sword tomb. A huge surge reached the terrifying Apex realm. 8-tier, Su Qing'an, hand over the Frost 9 Provinces sword. Kneel and apologize to me, or else this arena will become your grave today. Jiyu Tianxing's voice was venomous, like an evil spirit crawling out of hell. Zhu Qing'an slowly drew her sword. The tip pointed straight at Jiyu Tianxing. If you want to fight, just fight. Enough talk, time to kill. Jiyu Tianxing roared angrily, his hands moving in a frenzy of seals. He didn't use his sword, but pulled out from his bosom a black orb, radiating an extremely evil aura. As soon as that orb appeared, the sky above Yangwu Square instantly darkened. A soul-chilling demonic energy shot up into the air. Myriad souls devouring array. Devour them. Jiyu Tianxing crushed the black orb. In an instant, thousands upon thousands of wailing souls and vengeful ghosts exploded out of the orb, forming a cloud of darkness that blocked out the sun, enveloping Su Qing'an completely. Uh-oh, the demon path is unleashed. The sect master on the high platform rose abruptly. His expression changed dramatically. Jiyu Tianxing, you dare collude with demons and use this sort of depraved method. Chanliang's demonic treasure. Jiyu Tianxing laughs crazily. As long as I can kill him, who cares about becoming a demon? This 10,000 souls devouring spirit array can even trap those at the King Marquis realm? Su Qing'an, you're going to die painfully, devoured by 1,000 ghosts. Within the black clouds, chilling aura explodes from Su Qing'an's body, barely holding on. But this demonic energy is extremely bizarre. It can actually corrode his true ki. His face grows increasingly pale. Even the ice dragon shield starts to crack. I've watched my junior sister closely. My gaze instantly turns icy cold. Jiyu Tianxing, you're courting death. I stand up. My clothes flutter even without wind. Just as I'm about to unleash my half-step Emperor Realm power, slap Jiyu Tianxing along with those vengeful souls. Turn them all into dust. Suddenly the sky once shrouded by demonic energy splits open with a golden rift stretching tens of thousands of feet. An aura that towers above all beings. Everyone can't help but want to bow down in worship under its terrifying pressure. Pouring down from the rift, the heavenly extreme sword sect's protective array instantly collapses. The sect master and the peak masters are immediately pressed flat on the ground by this pressure. Unable to move, Jiyu Tianxing's 10,000 souls devouring spirit array, under the golden light, is like dried blood beneath the blazing sun. It disintegrates instantly. Those vengeful souls let out horrifying screams, turning to ashes. What's happening? What happened? Everyone looks up in terror at the golden rift that tears through the sky. Deep within the rift, a giant golden decree slowly emerges. On the decree radiates supreme celestial power from the 9 heavens mystic realm. A cold, grand, emotionless voice comes from the decree, echoing across the entire northern wastelands continent. The nine heavens deity commands the lower realm. The northern wastelands harbor remnants. Their aura awakens. Thus, a divine emissary descends to eradicate all traces. Leave nothing behind. As soon as this voice is heard, Su Qinghai, who just escaped the demonic array, her delicate body trembles violently. For the first time, her stunningly beautiful face reveals the extreme terror and despair. He stares hard at the golden decree.
His lips bleed from being bitten.
Nine heavens deity. It really is him. He discovered my reincarnation so quickly. Meanwhile, the system in my mind suddenly blasts out an unprecedented shrill alarm. Warning, warning. Detected unknowable existence from the upper realm, forcibly interfering with lower realm laws. Warning, junior sister. Life subjected to extinction level lock-on. System defense protocols are about to collapse. Host, prepare for plane escape immediately. I look up at the towering golden decree, feeling Su Qingyan's whole body shivering with cold. I didn't choose to run. Instead, I take her hand behind me. A cold, rebellious smile lifts my lips. Nine heavens deity, huh? Upper realm emissary, huh? Dare to touch my woman. I don't care if you're a god or an immortal. Today I'm dragging you down from the heavens. The system keeps screeching in my mind. Host, escape now. That's an avatar of an upper realm god, with current half-step emperor realm power. Direct resistance has risk of annihilation. Recommend immediate use of random teleport talisman. Activate plane escape. I roar in my mind, shut up. I don't care what kind of god he is. Dare to touch my junior sister. I'll make sure he turns into a god of death. I tightly grasp Su Qingyan's cold little hand, sending the warm ancestral dragon energy from my body, relentlessly transferring it to her. Su Qingyan looks up at me. Only despair fills her beautiful eyes. Senior brother, let go of me. That's the decree of the nine heavens deity. The person he sent is at least true immortal realm. We can't win. Go, don't worry about me. I flick her forehead lightly. She yelps and covers her fair forehead. I look at her and say seriously, silly girl, whether we can win? You don't know till you fight. I told you, senior brother, if the sky falls, I'll cover you like a blanket. Even if the heavenly king comes today, he'll have to line up behind me to take his beating. Just then, the golden crack in the sky completely tears apart. A golden phantom, 100 feet tall, slowly steps out from within. A man wearing purple gold divine armor throughout his whole body.
Emits.
A terrifying force that makes heaven and earth wail. He looks down at the Yanwu square below, just like glancing at dust on the ground. Finally, his gaze locks onto Su Qingyan. His voice thunders like 10,000 storms. Remnant of Yichen, you actually reincarnated into such a lowly lower realm. Hand over your source earth vein. I might show mercy. Let your soul be destroyed, and spare you some pain. Hearing his high and mighty tone makes me furious. All the elders and disciples of Heavenly Extreme Sword Sect have long been pressed to the ground by this force, vomiting blood frantically. Even the sect master has all his bones shattered. Unable to move, only Su Qingyan and I remain standing on the field. I pull Su Qingyan behind me, raise my chin slightly, looking at the poser up in the sky, picking at my ear, shout loudly, "Hey, you dumb bird dressed like a nouveau rich up there! Why are you yelling so early in the morning?" No sense of public decency at all. Do you not know that today? Do you not know today is our sect's inner disciples tournament? With these words, all the disciples lying on the ground gasp in shock. Is Lin Fan really crazy? That's a god from the upper realm. He actually dares to insult a god as a dumb bird. The golden armor emissary is visibly stunned for a moment, as if in tens of thousands of years, no one has ever spoken to him like that. He lowers his head, looks at me coldly. A mere defiant ant. How can you withstand my celestial might and remain standing? But an ant is still just an ant, since you wish to die. I'll oblige you. Divine judgment decree. Golden armor emissary slowly extends a finger radiating destructive energy, presses lightly toward me and Su Qingyan. In that instant, the entire sky collapses. An indescribable, terrifying force transforms into a pillar holding up the sky, carrying the power to annihilate all laws, crashes down. Facing this force, even half-step Emperor realm now seems paper-thin. The system flashes with red alerts. Detected lethal attack. I give a cold snort, push Su Qing'an aside, stomp fiercely on the ground. The entire white jade floor of Yanwu Square instantly shatters into pieces. My whole body shoots upward like a meteor, rushing head-on toward the pillar of divine power. Unfading through tribulations. Show me your body. Fluid. Show me ancient ancestral dragon essence. Ignite my blood. The blood in my body lets out earth-shaking dragon roars. Golden Dao patterns densely cover my bones. I don't use any fancy weapons. Just focus all my physical strength. And half-step Earth Realm's true key. Compress it into my right fist. Punching fiercely at the descending divine finger. Delivering a devastating punch. Boom! The two powers collide in mid-air. No expected earth-shattering noise. Only dead silence. Right after the collision point, space shatters like a broken mirror. Cracking inch by inch. The pitch-black void. Chaotic flows surge out uncontrollably, with everyone's terrified gaze watching. That punch of mine actually shattered the divine judgment pillar. Violent recoil force. Rising through the void, directly smashes into the golden armor emissary's chest. He groans, stunned. This massive phantom actually staggers back 3 steps in midair. Each step shatters a portion of the void. Impossible, absolutely impossible. In the emissary's eyes, he's finally genuinely shocked. You, a mere rebellious aunt from the lower realm. How do you possess a body comparable to a primordial beast? Who are you really? I shake out my tingling wrist, float suspended in midair, coldly glare at him. I'm your grandpa. I'm your grandpa. That punch was just a warm-up. Now it's my turn. I'm about to summon the ancient executioner sword. Give him a taste of my sword. But a sudden mutation occurred in the main artery at that moment. The golden armored emissary, whom I forced back, was utterly enraged. What an arrogant brute from the lower realm. You actually dared to injure a divine incarnation. Since that's the case, then the whole continent will be buried with this heretic. Heavenly Dao Millstone. Crush them for me. The golden armored emissary clasped his hands together in front of his chest. Suddenly in the sky appeared a massive blood-red millstone spanning thousands of miles. The millstone slowly started to spin, unleashing an irresistible suction force. All the mountain peaks of the Tianji sword sect began to collapse. Countless disciples screamed as they were sucked into the millstone, instantly turning into blood mist. The center of the millstone locked dead onto Su Qing'an. A peerless summoning law directly enveloped Su Qing'an. Senior brother, save me. Su Qing'an's body was uncontrollably flying toward the millstone.
His frost dragon holy physique facing this supreme law.
Stood absolutely no chance of resistance. My eyes were bloodshot with rage. I was about to rush over to save him, but suddenly found the space around me, locked down tightly by 12 celestial keychains from the golden armored emissary. Even with my invincible body, I'd still need 3 breaths to break free. But in this kind of battle, in combat of this level, 3 breaths, Su Qing'an would be gone without a trace. Just as my heart felt like it would stop beating, a heart-wrenchingly beautiful crimson sword light shot straight up from where Zui Yufeng was. It was a life-bound flying sword blazing with raging flames, charged forward with unwavering determination and a fearless, death-defying momentum, heading straight towards that binding summoning law targeting Su Qing'an. Get out of my way. A familiar, stunning figure in red appeared in midair. It was none other than my master, Shen Qingku. At this moment, his whole body burned with dazzling crimson flames. Even his once dark hair had turned snow white. Master! Su Qing'an cried out in alarm. Shen Qingku didn't look back. He just poured all of his emperor-level cultivation into this moment. Even set his divine soul and life essence ablaze, transforming into an impenetrable sword energy barrier, forcibly blocking the deadly force of the millstone. He pushed Su Qing'an in midair, right towards my direction. Su Qing'an crashed heavily to the ground. But Shen Qingtiao's body, under the crushing force of the heavenly Tao millstone, began to shatter inch by inch. My disciple is not someone like you, a freak neither man nor woman can lay hands on. Shen Qingku coughed up blood mouthful after mouthful. Yet he stood tall and proud, unwavering. Was the same rebellious arrogance as ever. Seeking death? The golden armored emissary snorted coldly. The power of the millstone instantly doubled. Shen Qingku's life-bound sword let out a mournful cry and shattered to dust right there. His body, like a withered leaf, fell miserably from midair. As he closed his eyes, he glanced at me, trapped in the spatial chains. A faint, weak but gentle smile tugged at his lips. Brat, you always protected your junior sister. Today, as your master, I finally fulfilled my duty as a teacher at least once. I'll leave Zui Yufeng in your hands now. Don't let me down. Master, Su Qingyan sobbed heartbreakingly on the ground. And I stood midair, watching Shen Qingku fall like a broken kite. Seeing all that bright, fresh blood on him, the last thread of reason snapped in my mind. Unforgivable. Unpardonable. Ding! Detected severe emotional mutation in host. System emotional desire value has surpassed the limit. Hidden ultimate quest activated. The divine system will soon go into overload, forcibly unlocking all of the host's potential. 3-minute countdown begins. No need for the system to explain. The primordial ancestral dragon blood in my veins, fully ignited in this moment. Blood completely burned in this instant. I roared to the sky with an inhuman, wild rage. Break those 12 celestial key chains restraining me. With sheer physical force, I tore them apart. I reached out my hand and pulled that entirely dark red executioner sword from the void. This was my first time truly wielding this divine-grade supreme artifact. The moment the hilt landed in my palm, the sky over the lower realm instantly turned blood red. Endless demonic energy erupted from me as the center, spreading wildly in all directions. In my current state, I've briefly surpassed the earth level, touching that elusive barrier of divinity. The golden armored emissary, watching me drenched in blood, with eyes blazing red, felt soul-deep terror for the very first time. What kind of weapon is that in your hand? How can it possibly cut the laws of the heavenly Tao? I didn't answer him. I just lowered my head and gently wiped away a speck of dust on my blade. My voice hoarse, like a demon crawling out from the depths of hell. Of all your mistakes, the worst was hurting the people next to me. Even if the Divine Lord himself descends today, I'll make him kneel and sing for mercy. A single sword to slay the divine. With both hands on the sword, I swung fiercely at that massive blood-red millstone in the sky, and the golden armored emissary, striking down hard with one sword, slashing out a blade of energy that stretched for over 100,000 feet, blood-red and deadly, carrying the terrifying killing intent that made all worlds tremble. It ripped open the sky. That seemingly indestructible heavenly Tao millstone, in front of this blade intent, was no stronger than tofu, split in two in an instant. The sword's power didn't fade, and struck the golden armored emissary directly. God Lord, save me. The golden armored emissary let out a desperate, blood-curdling scream. The so-called invincible purple gold armor on him shattered inch by inch. His massive body was torn to shreds amid the blood-red sword aura, scattering into countless rays of light. Not even a trace of his soul remained. That sword not only killed the divine emissary, but even shattered the golden proclamation in the sky. That high and mighty decree. Its golden fragments rained down like a meteor shower, spilling all over Tiangji. The sword sect fell into dead silence. Even the wind fell still. Every surviving elder and disciple looked at me in midair, as if staring at a monster, slaying a god with one swing. Could a rebellious disciple really do this? I ignored their shock from below. In the last second before the 3-minute limit, I flickered in a flash and caught the rapidly falling Shen Qingku. At that moment he was barely breathing, his soul's flame flickering, about to go out. That flame was so weak it could vanish any second. Senior brother master, how is he? Su Qing'an scrambled over, tripping and crawling, tears streaming down non-stop like broken pearls. Feeling Shen Qingqiu's body grow colder and colder, my heart twisted with pain. But right then, the system rang out like the voice of heaven. Ding! Host has completed the hidden divine mission. Reward: 1 supreme reviving gold pill. It can revive the dead, restore flesh and soul. Also gained a top-tier energy-gathering array blueprint. And received 10 law fragments. Without hesitation, I pulled out the gold pill radiating with 9-colored light and put it straight into Shen Qingqiu's mouth. The pill melted instantly. A vast, gentle life force enveloped Shen Qingqiu's entire body in a moment. His deathly pale face started to turn rosy. His white hair turned back to its original lush black, right before our eyes. Every broken meridian healed completely and became even stronger than before. It's a miracle. Shen Qingqiu is out of danger. He's just exhausted and has fallen into a deep sleep. I finally let out a long sigh of relief. I held Shen Qingqiu tightly in my arms, then turned to look at the sect leader slumped on the platform. As for the competition just now, I'll just treat it as a joke. First place in the competition. I'll just treat it as a farce. A huge first prize. Rewarded with the 9 orifices barrier breaking pill. Whoever I need approval from. Anyone who disagrees, the headmaster is so scared he shudders all over. He waves his hands again and again. No objections, no objections. Lin Fan, no. Senior Lin, this is the barrier breaking pill. Please take it.
He shakily pulls out a jade box
And hands it to me from a distance. I take the jade box. My gaze grows cold. I glare at Jiyu Tianqing, who's still trembling in the corner. He was completely terrified by my aura just now. So much that he even forgot the pain from his soul-devouring array backfiring. Jiyu Tianqing colluded with demons, attempting to harm his own sect members. Today I won't kill you, but I will strip you of all your cultivation and pride. I flick my finger. A sword key shatters Jiyu Tianqing's danshin instantly. He lets out a miserable scream and faints. From now on, he's less than an ordinary person. As for what happens to him, leave it up to the sect to judge. I hold Shen Qingqiu in my arms, bring Su Qing'an along, and swagger back to Drunken Moon Peak as everyone in the sect looks on in awe. We swagger boldly back to Drunken Moon Peak. In the half-month that followed, the entire Heavenly Pole Sword sect fell into an eerie kind of silence. No one dared disturb Drunken Moon Peak. The sect even sent people to pave the paths leading up Drunken Moon Peak with top-grade spirit stones. As for our lives on Drunken Moon Peak, they were more peaceful than ever. Life up on the peak was more peaceful and cozy than ever before. Because Shen Qingqiu was still asleep, recuperating, the responsibility for taking care of him fell on Su Qing'an. This empress, who used to be as cold as ice, actually learned how to make congee and pastries now. Though she blew up the kitchen twice at first, under my careful guidance, her lotus seed soup became quite delicious. Brother, try this osmanthus cake and see if it's sweet. Beside the stone table in the courtyard, Su Qing'an is wearing a light-colored home dress, holding a tray of exquisite pastries in her hands, looking at me with anticipation. I pick one up and put it in my mouth. I nod repeatedly.
Delicious.
Your cooking skills are good enough to open a restaurant now. Hearing me praise her, a sweet smile blooms on Su Qing'an's gorgeous face. Then she carries a steaming bowl of medicinal congee back into the cave dwelling to feed Shen Qingqiu. Watching her busy back, I feel a great sense of accomplishment. What is the joy of nurturing someone? This is it. You, who used to want to fight your way up to the mysteries of the 9 heavens at the drop of a hat, now only think about making the congee smell better. That afternoon, the sun was shining just right, and the breeze was gentle. I lay on the reclining chair in the courtyard, sunbathing, playing with the 9 orifices barrier breaking pill that I got from the sect leader. In fact, this pill actually has no use for me anymore. With my indestructible myriad calamity body, I'm thousands of times tougher than any other constitution in this world. But this was something Su Qingyan won for me, even at the risk of her life. As I'm thinking about this, a familiar scent of wine drifts over. You brat slacking off again? A slightly weak, but still powerful voice sounds behind me. I turn around in surprise and see Shen Qingku draped in a loose robe, leaning on the doorway. His face is still a bit pale, but his limpid eyes have recovered their usual bright look. Master, you're finally awake. I hurriedly jump up and rush over to steady him. Shen Qingku shoots me a look, but doesn't refuse my help. He lets me help him sit on the recliner. He looks at me with a rather complicated expression. That earth-shaking battle. He may have been unconscious, but the aura I unleashed right before falling, he definitely felt it clearly. Kid, how much have you been hiding from your old master? You struck down the avatar of a deity from the upper realm with one sword. Don't tell me. You just learned that trick in the last few days. I scratched my head and gave a silly grin. Master, everyone has their secrets. All you need to know is, no matter how strong I become, I'm still Drunken Moon Peaks, disciple who cooks braised pork for you. That's right, Drunken Moons. Disciple who cooks braised pork for you. Shen Qingku quietly watches me, a depth in his eyes that flashes with a hard-to-notice gentleness and emotion. Suddenly, he stretches out his hand and pinches my cheek firmly. I wince in pain. At least the kid has a conscience. I didn't dote on you for nothing. But this time, to save that girl, I almost lost my life. How do you plan to make it up to me? I think for a moment and seriously suggest, how about I make you Buddha jumps over the wall tonight? And by the way, sneak into the headmaster's cellar and bring you that 800-year-old 100 flowers brew as a tribute. Shen Qingku's eyes light up, and he swallows. Deal. Just be careful when stealing the wine. Don't let that old guy catch you. While the two of us were plotting how to mess with the headmaster, Su Qingyan comes out of the cave with a water basin, sees Shen Qingku awake. Her eyes redden. She drops the basin with a clang on the ground and throws herself into Shen Qingku's arms, and immediately bursts into tears. Master, you're finally awake. Qingyan thought she'd never see you again. Shen Qingku, at a bit of a loss, awkwardly pats Su Qingyan on the back, clearly not used to such tearful scenes. All right, this old lady's pretty tough. Even the king of hell wouldn't dare take me. What kind of scene is this with all the crying? Though he complains, he can't hide the smile on his lips, no matter how hard he tries. Dinner. He can't stop smiling no matter how hard he tries. Dinner time. The courtyard on Drunken Moon Peak is filled with a feast. I specially set up a top-tier gathering array rewarded by the system in the courtyard. The entire spiritual energy of Drunken Moon Peak was so rich, it almost turned to rain. Training in that environment improved by leaps and bounds. By the time the wine made its third round, I look at the tipsy Shen Qingku and the flushed Su Qingyan and pull out the jade box with the 9 orifices barrier breaking pill from my pocket and hand it to Su Qingyan. Junior sister, this is for you. Su Qingyan freezes, sobered up quite a bit, and waves her hands quickly. Brother, are you crazy? I got this for you so you could change your rebellious constitution. Why are you giving it to me? I smile, looking at her sincerely. Junior sister, after that fight, you saw too. My strength doesn't need this pill anymore. But you do. Even though you have fused the Frost Phoenix bone marrow within you, people from the upper realm have already discovered your whereabouts. You must get stronger as soon as possible to protect yourself. This 9 apertures barrier-breaking pill can trigger the ultimate transformation of your bloodline. Only if you become strong enough can your senior brother be at ease.
Ding.
Detected that the host has selflessly offered an extremely precious treasure. Critical hit rebate mechanism activated. Congratulations, host, you have obtained a passive skill. Immunity to all laws. Congratulations, host, you have obtained a passive skill. Immunity to all law-based damage. Hearing this reward, I was simply overjoyed inside. This deal is just too good. Su Qing'an looked at the pill in the jade box, then looked at my determined gaze. Once again, tears fell uncontrollably. He didn't refuse any further. Instead, he solemnly took the jade box. Senior brother, master, your kindness is something I could never repay, even if I was torn to pieces. I swear, I will reclaim the pinnacle of the 9 skies as fast as I can. When that time comes, it'll be my turn to protect you all. Shen Qingku took a sip of wine. He waved his hand boldly. With your master and your senior brother as your backing, who cares about any 9 skies divine sovereign? We'll crush them all. That night, the laughter of Su Yufeng echoed through the valley. It was the happiest day I've had since coming to this world. However, peaceful days never last long. In the deep of night 3 days later, a raging wind howled outside. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Su Qing'an secluded herself in the wooden hut to refine the 9 apertures barrier-breaking pill. Shen Qingku steadied his cultivation in the cave dwelling. I sat alone in my room, meditating. Suddenly, the system emitted a very strange, sizzling sound, as if subjected to some kind of intense interference. Warning, detected an unknown space-time anchor being activated. Warning, detected incomplete items in host's inventory are being activation warning. Incomplete items in the host's inventory. Resonance occurred. I suddenly opened my eyes. I opened the system inventory. On that day, the golden talisman paper fragment I shattered in Yanwu Square was in the inventory and unexpectedly flew out uncontrollably into my room and assembled itself into a broken rune. The rune emitted a faint, eerie glow. It actually tore open a rift in the air, forming a black void gate just over a person's height. Behind the gate was endless darkness and chaos. What's going on? I frowned, silently circulating true energy throughout my body, ready to act at any moment. Just then, a voice that was incredibly ancient, and even carried a slight tremble, echoed from the depths of the black void gate. It's been 1,000,000 years of rebellion. Finally, once again, rebel child. The divine lord of 9 heavens is nothing but a thief. The bones on your body are the true realm of all the worlds. Come quickly, we don't have much time. They're about to wake up. The voice was intermittent. By the end, it even turned into a chilling scream. Next, the void gate shattered with a roar and disappeared without a trace, like nothing ever happened. Only a single black feather slowly floated down at my feet. I picked up the feather. A massive flood of memory fragments rushed wildly into my mind. In that instant, I saw an ancient battlefield drenched in blood. Countless gods 100 times stronger than the golden armored envoys fell from the sky like dumplings. At the center of the battlefield stood a man with his back to me.
His figure looked just like mine.
And under his feet lay the entire 9 heavens mystic realm. So this so-called ordinary mortal, not some loser at all, but actually, an ancient realm powerful enough to make the gods tremble. I stared out at the pitch-black night sky, clutching the black feather tightly in my hand. A cold, excited smirk curved on my lips. Looks like this quiet and easy life is about to end temporarily. Since those gods above want to play, I'll play big with them. Just as I was about to open the door to take a look, the system popped up another blood-red quest. The ultimate main quest has started. Break through the 9 heavens mystic realm. Seek the mystery of the ancient origins. First phase target, head to Beiwang realm, deep abyss. Find the lost ancient divine temple. I took a deep breath of crisp mountain air, turned around, glanced at the direction where Su Qing'an and Shen Qingku were resting. Master and junior sister, wait for me. Wait for me to pierce the sky and come back for you. I'll make braised pork for you. Early next morning, when the first ray of sunlight shone on Drunken Moon Peak, I had already spent an entire hour busy in the kitchen. The table was set with my carefully stewed spirit ginseng chicken soup, and Su Qing'an's favorite osmanthus cake, as well as several jars of newly brewed peach blossom wine for Master. Looking at these familiar items, a sudden surge of indescribable reluctance arose in my heart. But the message from that black feather last night was way too heavy. The divine lord of 9 heavens is a complete lunatic. Since he discovered junior sister's tracks, there's no way he'll let this go. If they stay on Drunken Moon Peak, sooner or later the entire 9 heavens mystic realm will hunt them. Only if I visit the deep abyss, tear a hole in the sky, and draw all hatred and attention to myself, can they truly be safe? I left a transmission jade slip on the table, recording a relaxed message in it. Master, junior sister, I'm going down the mountain to get you some tasty treats and collect inspiration along the way. You'll have to manage meals yourselves for a while. If you dare lose weight from hunger, you'll get your butt smacked when I'm back. After recording this message, I took a deep breath, kept the black feather close to me. While they were still asleep, I didn't use any true energy. Just like a real mortal, walked with the morning breeze, quietly left drunken Moon Peak. But what I didn't know is, at the moment I turned around, the door to Master's residence silently cracked open. Shen Qingku was quietly standing there, gripping the wine gourd I gave him yesterday, eyes slightly red. Damn brat, you really think I know nothing? He muttered to himself. The door of the wooden cabin next to him opened too. Su Qingyan came out with red eyes. The two exchanged a glance. Neither spoke, but the determination in their eyes matched surprisingly. Where Master and senior brother go, we go too. Su Qingyan bit her lip. A crazed look flashed in her eyes never seen before. Shen Qingku raised his head, gulped down some wine. A proud yet aching smirk appeared on his lips. Of course, my disciple Shen Qingku. Even if we're going to pierce the sky, I'll be there behind him, handing him the knife. Let's go seclude ourselves. If I don't break through the Earth realm, I won't come out. After leaving Sky Extreme Sword Sect, I immediately activated the system's stealth rune, completely suppressed my godlike aura, not leaving a trace. Even my astonishingly handsome face was smeared with some mud, to look like just an ordinary rogue cultivator. Since the Divine Burial Abyss is at the far north end of Beiwang, the farthest north, millions of miles away from here. Along the way, I'd have to cross several extremely dangerous regions. Even though I'm unbeatable, I still don't want those brainless villains picking fights everywhere and holding up my real business. So I just blended into a caravan heading for the North Wilderness border. The caravan boss was a hardy guy with a full beard. People called him Zhao Tiju. He was a third-stage cultivator of the Painted Cauldron realm. Seeing me all alone, carrying a shabby bundle, he kindly let me join for a meal every day, and had me help feed the spirit beasts pulling the carts. The journey was peaceful. Each day, besides feeding spirit beasts, all I did was sleep in the haystack, listening to the caravan workers brag and gossip. These familiar vibes of the mundane world helped relax my previously tense nerves. Hey, did you guys hear? Sky Extreme Sword Sect recently produced a savage. Zhao Tiju was spitting crumbs as he ate his pancake, spreading rumors. Heard their so-called rebel senior brother split the sky with one sword. Even chopped up some immortals from the upper realm into pieces. Now all of North Wilderness is talking, saying he's the reincarnated ancient sword god. A skinny monkey worker nearby chimed in, not believing it. Boss, you're just blowing smoke. How could a rebel even cultivate? I bet it's just Sky Extreme Sword Sect. Sky Extreme Sword Sect hyping themselves up, trying to scare other sects. Zhao Tiju slapped the skinny monkey's head. You don't know shit. That day, my cousin's uncle's neighbor was right there. Saw it for real. They say Senior Lin Fan was 8 feet tall, face like a monster. Could eat 3 kids in one meal. Lying in the haystack, my face was full of black lines. Almost couldn't resist jumping out and kicking that bearded guy. I'm this dashing, elegant guy. No way an ugly monster would eat kids. Just as the caravan atmosphere was flowing nicely, a sharp eagle screech suddenly came from the sky. Then strong winds picked up. A massive black cloud blocked the sun. Crap, it's the wind hunter. Black eagle flock. The skinny monkey yelled in panic. The whole caravan went into chaos in an instant. Over 100 black fiend eagles, each with wingspans of over 10 meters, descended like black lightning from the sky. All these black eagles are Tier 3 peak beasts, equivalent to the peak of the giant elixir realm for humans. But their numbers are overwhelming, and with their aerial advantage, even though Zhao Tiju is Painted Cauldron realm, he can't fight so many at once. Quickly, he was pushed back again and again by several massive eagle leaders, barely hanging on. Everybody stay calm. Form up the defensive formation. Zhao Tiju's whole body was bloodied, covered in blood, still roaring and standing at the very front. However, the caravan guards had already lost their nerve. Their formation instantly collapsed. A sharp eagle claw was about to crush the head of a little girl about 5 or 6 years old. That girl was the daughter of the caravan's accountant. She always loved running after me, calling me big brother. I sighed. Helplessly, I sat up from the haystack. I just wanted to hitch a quiet ride. But now you're forcing me to act. Just as the eagle's claw was only half an inch away from the little girl's head, I casually grabbed from beside me a withered branch from a spirit beast. Without even looking, I lazily waved it toward the sky. A barely noticeable trail of sword energy shot forth along the branch. There was no earth-shattering noise, nor any dazzling light. That sword energy felt like a gentle breeze passing by. Over 100 gale black hawks in the sky didn't even have time to screech in pain before their bodies froze in midair. The next second, every black hawk fell from the sky, all together like dumplings. They crashed to the ground, turning into a pile of corpses. At the center of each black hawk's forehead, there was a tiny red dot. They were killed in a single strike. The entire caravan was deathly silent. Everyone was stunned. Zhao Tiju held his knife. And stared blankly at the beast's corpses on the ground. Then he looked around for which expert nearby had secretly helped them. Junior Zhao Tiju bows to the elder who aided us. With that, he dropped to his knees with a thud. I casually tossed aside the branch and lay back down in the haystack. Turning over, I pretended to be shivering in fear. If I revealed my identity, these people would practically worship me like an ancestor. How am I supposed to enjoy a carefree journey like this? After this false alarm, everyone in the caravan pointed at me, the coward who hid in the haystack during the chaos. The little girl named Zhao Ye ran over and handed me a wild fruit covered in dirt. Big brother, don't be scared. The bad birds are already dead. Looking at her innocent smile, I took the fruit and took a bite. So sweet, I patted her head. I sighed to myself. Once I've dealt with that old bastard, the Nine Heavens God Emperor, I'll bring Master and my junior sister and open a small restaurant in the mortal world. Watching ordinary folks living their lives every day, isn't that thousands of times better than being some so-called god? After half a month of traveling, the caravan finally reached Ice City at the northern frontier. I said goodbye to them here and set off alone, stepping into the land eternally shrouded in gray mist, the death zone. Burial God, the abyss of God burial, death forbidden zone. The moment I stepped onto this land, the air was immediately filled with a nauseating stench of decay and despair. Gravity here is 100 times stronger than outside. Even ordinary king-level cultivators can't fly here. Giant scattered bones covered the ground everywhere. Some of them still glowed faintly with divine light. Seems like the ancient war here really did claim the lives of many true gods. Following the guidance of that black feather, I traveled through the mist for 3 entire days and nights. Along the way, I encountered many fiendish spirits, formed by the remnants of divine souls and resentment. But in front of my indestructible tribulation body, they were like mice facing a cat. I didn't even need to lift a finger. Just by standing there, leaking a little bit of my ancestral dragon blood essence, those demons scattered like they'd seen a god. So terrified, they dissolved on the spot. Finally, by dusk on the 4th day, I reached the edge of a bottomless abyss. Faint black lights flickered deep within the chasm. The power calling me came from below. Taking a deep breath, without any hesitation, I jumped straight in. The whistling of ghostly winds in my ears. I had no idea how long I was falling. When, with a huge crash, another huge crash, my feet finally hit solid ground. In front of me stood the ruins of a grand, broken temple. On the plaque of the temple, 3 ancient characters were written, Mortal God Temple. So Mortal God, in ancient times, was actually the title of the chief among all gods. I strode into the temple. The vast hall was empty, with only a massive black throne in the center. A long-dried skeleton sat on the throne. Though stripped of flesh and blood, its bones still shimmered with dazzling golden patterns, exactly the same as those in my own body. As I approached, two ghostly blue flames suddenly ignited in the skeleton's hollow eye sockets. Suddenly, two ghostly blue flames ignited in its empty eye sockets. A vast, ancient divine will exploded in my mind. You are finally here, my last successor. Looking at the skeleton, I wasn't afraid at all. I even felt a sense of blood connection. So you were the old man, handing out flyers and calling me here? I asked, a bit annoyed. The skeleton trembled slightly, apparently exasperated by my disrespectful tone. A bit helpless. I am the first mortal god, the origin of the great Tao in all worlds. 1,000,000 years ago, that despicable Nine Heavens God Emperor ambushed me while I was meditating to break through the realm of origin, joined forces with the 8 great realm lords and schemed against me. He drained the earth veins, stole the mandate of heaven, and even cursed our rebellious lineage, so we would be wasted for all generations, unable to cultivate. He stands above as the God Emperor, while trampling us in the mire. The skeleton's voice was filled with boundless rage and unwillingness. So that's how it is. Now it all makes sense. No wonder after 3 years of bitter cultivation, I still hadn't reached the true essence stage. Turns out I suffered from the clan's curse. But sorry, old man, your curse doesn't seem to work on me. I have a system. I gloated inwardly with pride, but on the surface, still acted furious about the injustice. Rest assured, ancestor, I'll definitely avenge this grudge. You called me here, got some heaven-defying inheritance for me, right? Hurry up and give it to me. The skeleton let out a bitter laugh. I've been drained dry of my inheritance. This wisp of soul is about to dissipate too. There's no inheritance left. The corner of my mouth twitched. Then why'd you summon me all the way out here? Just to tell me a bedtime story? Don't be so quick. The flames in the skeleton's eyes flickered. Though I have no inheritance for you, I left behind the key to seize Nine Heavens God Emperor's heavenly authority. If you merge with this key, you'll be able to ignore his every divine law and drag him down from his pedestal. After finishing, the skeleton's chest cavity shattered. A throbbing black heart slowly floated out. On that heart, countless chains of the Tao were entwined, radiating a terrifying ancient energy. This is the origin of rebellion. If you merge it into yourself, the clan's curse within you will not only be completely broken from your body, but you'll surpass the limits of this universe and achieve a true origin body. But I must warn you, the fusion process is near certain death. If you fail, your soul will be destroyed. I looked at the black heart, took a deep breath. The one thing I've never feared is pain. As long as I can get stronger, as long as I can protect those I wish to protect, I'll walk through fire or blades without hesitation. Come on, I spread my arms wide. The black heart turned into a stream of light in an instant and smashed right into my chest. Boom! An indescribable pain swept through my body in a flash. It felt like billions of ants gnawing on my marrow, as if countless dull knives were slowly slicing away at my soul. I grunted, biting down hard, even biting my lips bloody. I didn't make a single cry of pain. The indestructible tribulation. Body faced this terrifying power and began wildly rebuilding my muscles and bones. Even my musculoskeletal system, even my blood, is undergoing an earth-shattering transformation. The system is flooding my mind with crazy warnings. Detected unknown origin power forcibly merging. Host's physical body at risk of collapse. Mobilizing all available energy for repairs. Just as I was about to faint from the pain, the entire God Burial Abyss suddenly began to shake violently. A thunderous, earth-shaking laughter came from outside the main hall. You traitorous scum! So you really are hiding here. Just when I thought you'd be impossible to find. And now I found you with no effort at all. I struggled to open my eyes. I saw 12 golden figures exuding true immortal aura, with terrifying pressure, directly blasting open the temple doors, and charging inside. The leading 12-winged, golden-armored divine general was twisted with rage. Lord Divine Sovereign's foresight is impeccable. He knew you would come searching for the mortal temple, so he specially ordered the 12 of us divine generals to set up an inescapable net here. Today, not only will you die, this mortal temple will be completely erased too. Damn it, I curse it inwardly. I'm at the most critical point of the fusion. I can't move at all, let alone 12 true immortals. Even the weakest energy-gathering cultivator could easily stab me to death right now. Is this where Lin Fan, go down for good today? Are the 12 divine generals actually going to fail today? The 12 divine generals looked at my pained struggle and laughed even more wildly. Kill this brat. Bring the source of defiance back as tribute to Lord Divine Sovereign. Attack! 12 weapons radiating a world-destroying aura were all raised at once, aimed ruthlessly at my head and slashed down. At this critical moment, a sword energy colder than ice burst forth, carrying an incomparably supreme, chilling majesty, cascaded down from above the abyss like a waterfall. Whoever dares touch my senior brother, I'll wipe out their entire clan. Right after that, a more domineering, raging blood-red sword light, like Pangu splitting heaven and earth, with an ancient giant axe, forcibly tore open the united barrier of the 12 divine generals. My precious disciple, isn't someone you pieces of trash can lay hands on? Boom! 2 stunning figures dropped from the sky, landing steadily to shield me, one dressed in white, pure as snow, wielding the frost-cold 9 provinces sword, with a gigantic, icy dragon phantom swirling behind her. She was the cold empress. The other wore a crimson dress, her long black hair swirling in the wind, holding a wine gourd in hand, her whole body emanating the overwhelming killing intent of a peerless sword master. My junior and my master, looking at their slim but unbreakable figures ahead of me, my eyes immediately reddened. My vision began to blur. Why are you here? Didn't I tell you to wait on the mountain? Why did you come? Didn't I tell you to wait for me up there? Su Qing'an didn't look back. She just gripped her long sword tighter, her voice gentle, yet carrying unwavering determination. Senior brother, you lied. You left us behind, and came to face danger alone. I, Qing'an, won't allow it. Didn't I say it's my turn to protect you, Shen Qingku? She tilted her head, and threw me a playful, charming glance. Brat, we'll settle this once we get back. For now, just shut your eyes, and focus on merging. We'll hold the line here. I could sense the overwhelming aura coming from them, and was deeply shocked. Su Qing'an's cultivation had already reached the terrifying half-step emperor realm, while my master, Shen Qingku, had completely broken through her limits, reaching the true peak of the emperor realm, just one step away from the true immortal realm. What kind of insane cultivation did these 2 women go through to reach this level in such a short time? To reach this state so quickly? The 12 divine generals stared at these 2 who suddenly appeared, stunned for a moment, then immediately burst out laughing with disdain. A pair of lower world ants, not even at the immortal realm. And you dare block a true immortal? So overconfident. Kill them all. 12 true immortals attacked at once. That formidable display almost seemed enough to level the entire god burial abyss. Endless divine laws turned into a rain of crystals. Floods of golden divine power filled the sky, all blasting toward Master and Junior, facing such a force of despair. There was not a trace of retreat in Su Qing'an's eyes. She suddenly bit her tongue hard, and spat a mouthful of blood onto the frost-cold 9 provinces sword. Ultimate frost dragon sacred body. 0 degrees, freeze for me. Boom! An extreme chill capable of freezing even the void exploded forth. In that instant, she actually froze the divine laws in the sky into ice.
It only lasted a single second.
But for Shen Qingku, that was enough.
Now,
Shen Qingku shouted angrily. She actually crushed the wine gourd in her hand. Inside that gourd was not wine, but every shred of sword intent she'd gathered over her life. Her origin blood sea surged. A sword strike to shatter immortals. a terrifyingly blinding red sword light, carrying Shen Qingqiu's do-or-die resolve, ran straight through one divine general's chest. That high and mighty true immortal didn't even have a chance to scream. Before being torn apart by the raging sword energy, their immortal essence fell that instant. What? That's impossible. The remaining 11 divine generals were shocked and furious. They'd stood above all others, looking down on the lower realms for tens of thousands of years. Never had they seen anyone kill a true immortal across realms, suppress them with the grand formation. The 11 divine generals immediately took formation. Suppress them. The 11 divine generals put away all contempt and formed the most powerful array of the divine realm, the Heaven Net Grand Array. Countless golden chains appeared from thin air, carrying an inescapable power of sealing, trapping Su Qingyan and Shen Qingqiu tightly in the center. Golden lightning rained down relentlessly on them. Su Qingyan's ethereal ice dragon was shattered inch by inch. She coughed up mouthfuls of fresh blood. Shen Qingqiu was also bathed in blood, yet still gripped her sword tightly, protecting Su Qingyan behind her, without falling back a single step. Give it up, ants? Just for a traitor doomed to die. You'd throw your own lives away. Is it worth it? The lead divine general taunted coldly. Su Qingyan wiped the blood from her lips and raised her head, her stunning face, showing a heartbreaking, beautiful smile. It's worth it because he's my light. Even if I die, I'll die with him. Shen Qingqiu burst out laughing, her laughter wild and fierce. Bullshit. My disciple is too tough to die. If anyone's dying, it's you fake immortals. Move! Shen Qingqiu, holding nothing back, burned her own divine soul, trying to break through the formation by force. Watching them fight desperately for me, hearing vow after vow without a trace of hesitation, my blood began to boil. With these fearless promises, the blood in my body totally ignited. To hell with the fusion process. To hell with dying 9 times out of 10. My woman is bleeding, and here I am still trying to merge. My eyes instantly turned crimson red, forcibly abandoning the gradual fusion process, swallowing the source of defiance in one gulp. Boom! With a colossal sound as if to blow the universe apart, the shackles in my body finally shattered completely. A power far beyond the earth realm, surpassing true immortal, even eclipsing the entire 9 heavens mystic realm. A terrifying aura above the very heavenly Tao erupted from within me. It was a force that ignored every rule, a primal source power to create or shatter anything. I slowly stood up from the ground, my clothes moving without any wind, stars and destruction swirling in my eyes. At this moment, the system let out an unprecedented fierce alert. Detected host's completion of ultimate transformation. Current realm, origin realm, pinnacle of all realms. System can no longer assess host's combat strength. Now entering hibernation and upgrading mode. With a casual wave, the HeavenNet array binding Master and Junior shattered like it was made of paper, vanishing in an instant. I stepped forward, appearing before them, and gathered the 2 who were weak too. I stepped forward and directly appeared in front of them. I gently embraced the 2 women who were weak to the extreme. I softly held them in my arms. Sorry, I'm late. I activated the origin power. Within just a single breath, all their wounds were completely healed. Even the burning essence and divine souls. I forcefully restored them as well. Senior brother Su Qingyan hugged my waist tightly, crying like a little girl who'd been wronged. Shen Qingqiu held back tears. She hit my chest, clearly annoyed. At least you still have a conscience, kid. I gently patted Shen Qingqiu's back, shielding her and Su Qingyan behind me. Then I slowly turned around, looking at the 11 figures floating in midair, shivering threads and needles. That arrogant attitude just now. Those fibers that viewed everything as insignificant ants. Now, in front of my origin power, they're like tiny flames in a storm. Who did you say you wanted to kill just now? I tilted my head, dug into my ear, asked casually. Those 11 divine generals had now been utterly terrified. Their proud, true, immortal bodies started to crack uncontrollably under my gaze, breaking apart without restraint. Escape, quickly! Return to the divine realm. Report to the divine lord. The leader of the divine generals let out a piercing scream. He actually burned all of his immortal energy. Attempting to tear through the void, he burned all of his immortal energy, trying to rip open space to escape. The other 10 divine generals started showing off their own abilities as well, desperately trying to squeeze through the crack in the sky. Come and go as you please. Leave whenever you like. Do you think I'm running a hotel here? I sneered. Didn't even raise my hand. Just softly uttered a single word. Words become law. The great Tao thundered. One thread about to enter the spatial crack. Its body instantly froze in the air, as if someone hit the pause button. The next second, there was no earth-shattering explosion. No flashy effects either. Their bodies, along with their divine souls, disintegrated in the air into the finest dust, like 11 insignificant fireworks, quietly blooming above the burial god abyss, not a single trace left behind. Su Qing'an and Shen Qingku stared at the scene, stunned. Even though they knew I'd surely grown stronger, they didn't expect it to be this outrageous. Just a single word. Erased 11 true immortals. This goes beyond everything known in the cultivation world. Senior brother, what realm are you in now? Su Qing'an gulped, her big eyes full of awe. I turned around, grinned at her, showing 8 little white teeth. Pretty much whatever you want to eat. I can even pick the stars from the sky for you. Anything you want. I could grab stars from the sky for you guys and turn them into candied fruit. Shen Qingku rolled her eyes at me, but couldn't help grinning widely. Brat, your skills grew. Your bragging skills grew too. But I like it. I laughed heartily and threw my arms around both their waists. Come on, master. Junior sister will take you guys somewhere. Where to? Su Qing'an asked, confused. To the 9 heavens mystic realm. I looked up at the still unclosed golden crack. A cold ray of killing intent flashed in my eyes. If someone comes to you, you return the favor. That so-called 9 heavens divine lord, since he likes sending people here so much, today we'll pay him a visit at his place and help junior sister avenge her past life. Shen Qingku got excited about crashing the divine lord's party. Her eyes immediately lit up. Sounds good. I've never had immortal wine in my life. Today I'm going to rob his wine cellar dry. Su Qing'an gripped my hand tightly, her eyes ablaze with fighting spirit. All right, let's go together. I flashed forward with them, turning into a stream of light, rushed into that golden crack, crossing endless space turbulence. To me now, it's as easy as walking in my own backyard. Just a few breaths, we pierced through the plane barriers and arrived at the legendary 9 heavens mystic realm. Here, immortal energy swirls. Divine figures dance. Countless grand floating islands are arranged beautifully. At the very center of the mystic realm stands the Liming Palace, radiating endless divine light. That's the domain of the 9 heavens divine lord.
Inside Liming Palace now.
The 9 heavens divine lord sits high on the throne, enjoying the graceful dances of the immortals below. She wears a ground-length robe embroidered with 9 golden dragons. Her face stern, utterly imposing. Just then, the dome of Liming Palace suddenly let out a deafening crash. The entire sky of the mystic realm seemed to be ripped apart by 2 enormous invisible hands. I brought Master and Junior Sister along, swaggered out through the crack, landing steadily in the center of the divine hall. The dancing immortals turned pale in fright, running in all directions. 9 heavens divine lord suddenly stood up, eyes full of disbelief. Rebellious traitors! How could you possibly get here? Where are my 12 divine generals? I dug into my ear, casually flicked my nails. You mean those 12-winged bird people? They thought the scenery of the lower realm was just too good. They've become fertilizer for the flowers and grass. Why? Divine Lord, do you want to join them? 9 heavens divine lord laughed in outrage. exploding with terrifying power rivaling the ancient cosmos. Arrogant, even if you fused with the mortal god's source. You're nothing but a newcomer. I've mastered the Tao for 1,000,000 years. How could someone from the lower realm threaten me? Tao judgment. All laws return to the void. The 9 heavens divine lord roared. Pressed both hands down hard. The entire mystic realms. Energy seemed to be drained by him. Becoming a giant hand billions of feet across. Carrying the might to crush all worlds. Slapping down on us. This power is terrifying. Even the laws around the divine hall are collapsing. Shen Qingku and Su Qing'an looked grim. They knew I was strong. But facing a force pressing down like the whole cosmos, they still instinctively felt suffocated. I didn't even look at that giant hand. Just sighed helplessly. 1,000,000 years. Is that all you've accomplished, old fool? Stolen things are still stolen. Let me show you today what true origin of the Tao really is. I raised my right hand slowly, formed sword with my fingers, and lightly slashed that world-shattering hand. A crisp tearing sound, like silk ripped. That hand gathering all the mystic realms. Tao power. I sliced it in half with just 2 fingers. Just like that. Not only that, my fingers' power didn't stop. Directly severed the 9 heavens divine lords. Connection to the laws of this world? Impossible! Absolutely impossible. The divine lord stared at his hands, terrified. He found all his vast power was vanishing rapidly. His proud Tao authority, in front of my origin power, was just like paper. Couldn't take a single hit. I took a step forward, appeared directly in front of the divine throne, grabbed the collar of his ornate robe, picked him up like a chicken. When you used the grindstone against junior sister in the lower realm, weren't you arrogant then? Wanted to wipe us out, right? Cat got your tongue now? I slapped him with the back of my hand, hitting the divine lord square on the face. Pop that slap. I only used 10% of my strength. The proud 9 heavens divine lord, gold teeth and all, had them smacked right out of his mouth. Half his face swelling up, like a pig's head even for a god. He'd never suffered such humiliation. So furious he coughed up blood. Lin Fan, you killed my entire 9. The entire 9 heavens mystery realm will collapse. All the worlds will fall into chaos. Can you bear the weight of such karma? I smiled slightly, turned back to look at Su Qing'an. Junior sister, this old geezer says the world will fall apart if he dies. What do you think? Su Qing'an held the frost-cold 9 provinces sword, stepping up the divine stairs one by one. On that stunningly beautiful face, there was only the majesty and coldness of an empress. In my previous life, you betrayed me, killed my kin, and seized my ley lines. Today is the day you die. As for the 9 heavens mystery realm, I shall take command of it once again. It is no concern of yours. Having finished, Su Qing'an thrust her sword forward without hesitation, piercing straight through the heart of the 9 heavens divine lord. The absolute spiritual energy contained within the sword aura instantly froze his soul along with his immortal essence, shattering them completely. A generation's divine lord fell just like that. This so-called ultimate villain, before the power of origin, didn't even manage to make a splash. Before he bit the dust. With the death of the 9 heavens divine lord, the great Tao of the entire mystery realm began to wail. Those immortal officials and divine generals who originally served him fell to their knees one after another, shivering with fear. With a casual wave of my hand, I reassembled the scattered authority of the heavenly Tao and infused it into Su Qing'an's body. The family business from your past life, your senior brother will help you. Senior brother has helped you take it back. From now on, you are the true empress of this 9 heavens mystery realm. Whoever dares to disobey, I will strike them down. Su Qing'an felt the surging ley line power within her, yet she did not show much joy. She looked at the empty hall of supreme harmony, then suddenly turned back to look at me. Senior brother, if I become this empress, does it mean I can't return to drunken Moon Peak every day, to eat the food you cook? I was stunned for a moment. scratching my head. In theory, that's how it is. After all, the heavenly court is quite busy. After hearing this, Su Qing'an, without a second thought, directly took that mass of heavenly Tao authority and threw it into the nearby immortal transformation pool. Then I don't want it. This broken divine realm is cold and lifeless. It's not nearly as good as Drunken Moon Peak. I only need senior brother and master, and that's enough. Now it was my turn to be dumbfounded. This was the position of the supreme ruler of all worlds. Yet this girl, just to eat my cooking, threw it away without a care. Shen Qingku laughed heartily beside us, walked over and patted Su Qing'an on the shoulder. Good girl, well done. This kind of thankless, rotten job. Let whoever wants to do it, do it. We aren't going to bother with it. Let's head back to our heavenly ultimate sword sect. Looking at the two of them, a wave of indescribable warmth surged in my heart. Indeed, what pinnacle of the worlds? What god of origin? None of it compares to being by their side, living a free and easy life. Since that's the case, then let's go home. I let out a loud laugh, casually setting up in the temple, and automatically operating Lore to maintain the balance of the mystery realm. Then I looted the private vault of the Nine Heavens Divine Lord, especially the immortal brew that Shen Qingku had been longing for. Carrying a full load of spoils, we tore through space once again and returned to the lower realm. When we landed on the square of the heavenly ultimate sword sect, the entire sect was in an uproar. The sect leader led all the elders and disciples, kneeling on the ground in unison to welcome us. Though they didn't know what we had done, just looking at the lingering immortal aura on us, they knew we had definitely accomplished something earth-shattering. Senior Lin, Ancestor Lin, you finally returned. The sect leader was so excited he was moved to tears, nearly hugging my leg and calling me Grandpa. I waved my hand, taking out hundreds of immortal artifacts and divine pills from the divine realm, and tossing them to the sect leader like common cabbage. Take these scraps and fix up the sect properly. Don't let people bully us so easily anymore. Now that I'm home, tell all the major sects in the northern wastelands that from now on the Heavenly Ultimate Sword Sect is under my Linfan's protection. The sect leader looked at the pile of peerless treasures that were enough to cause a bloodbath in the entire cultivation world, those peerless treasures, and simply fainted from sheer happiness. Ignoring the elders who were frantically kowtowing, I flew straight back to Drunken Moon Peak with my master and junior sister. Back in the familiar small courtyard, looking at the kitchen that had been kept spotless by my junior sister, I felt as if a lifetime had passed. Just then, the dormant system in my mind suddenly let out a cheerful notification sound. Ding. System upgrade complete. Detected that the host is already invincible in all worlds. This system is officially renamed as the Invincible Slacker Daily Gourmet System. Issuing the ultimate daily task. Cook a perfect Buddha jumps over the wall for your master and junior sister. Reward, a set of 9-colored glazed cookware, and a permanent carefree aura. Hearing this long-lost voice, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. This system really knows me well. Knowing I don't want to fight and kill, it turned into a cooking system. Alright, today I'll let you all taste my true skill. I rolled up my sleeves, tied on my apron, and strode into the kitchen. Master and junior sister followed me in with perfect understanding. The peerless sword god at the peak of the Emperor realm, Shen Qingku, was now squatting before the stove without any dignity, helping me start the fire. While starting the fire, she didn't forget to sneakily use her finger to dab a bit of the sauce I had just prepared and stick it in her mouth. Stick it in her mouth, and when I caught her, she'd glare at me with righteous indignation. Meanwhile, the once cold and proud Nine Heavens Empress, Su Qing'an, obediently helped me wash and chop vegetables on the side. The frost-cold Nine Provinces sword was being used as a kitchen knife, cutting meat like it was butter. If those immortals in the Nine Heavens mystery realm saw this, their eyeballs would probably pop out. As the sun set, golden afterglow spilled into the courtyard of Drunken Moon Peak. An incredibly rich aroma drifted from the kitchen, making the elders of the neighboring peaks salivate. yet they dare not take a single step closer. On the table, a pot of Buddha jumps over the wall made with dragon meat, and 10,000-year spirit ginseng from the eastern sea, bubbled with steam. Shen Qingku opened the peach blossom brew stolen from the divine realm. The rich wine fragrance was enough to make one drunk with just a sniff. Come to the safety and peace of our family. Cheers. I raised my glass, looking at the two most important people in my life. Cheers. The 3 wine cups clinked together gently under the sunset, making a crisp sound. Su Qing'an took a small sip, her cheeks flushing slightly, but her eyes were startlingly bright. Senior brother, the braised dragon meat you made tastes even better than the spirit beast meat before. Then your senior brother will cook it for you every day from now on. Shen Qingku will cook for you today. Shen Qingku, however, hugged the wine jar directly, took a huge gulp, and let out a satisfied burp. Kid, don't think just because you've become some god of origin that I can't control you anymore. On this drunken moon peak, I am forever the boss. And you will forever be my good disciple. Understand? I smiled and nodded repeatedly, placing a large piece of dragon meat into her bowl. Understood, understood. Master is #1 in the world. I'm just the cook. A gentle breeze blew by, shaking down a few peach blossom petals. Su Qing'an looked at me, suddenly leaned in, and planted a light kiss on my cheek. Then, blushing crimson, she lowered her head and shoveled rice into her mouth. Seeing this, Shen Qingku, not to be outdone, widened her eyes and grabbed my ear. All right, you 2 little rascals. How dare you show off your affection in front of your master? I don't care. You must finish this jar of wine with me tonight. To the point of no return. From the courtyard, the sound of our unrestrained laughter drifted out. In these long years of immortal cultivation, we did not seek that illusory supreme power, nor did we bother with the world's troubles. Working at sunrise, resting at sunset, planting vegetables, drinking wine, and bickering. For an ordinary soul like me, this is the most perfect ending in all the worlds.